That's right. You can't put that medallion.
Look at you already. Look, already
There we go. It's like I need like a slow down thing. There we go. Here, you want that, Tommy? You like playing with that?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Lord have mercy, man. Oh, Ricky's been off for a while, hasn't he?
Look, we need to figure
I missed 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah, him was sick.
I missed
Him
you.
was sick.
Oh, man. What's up?
He was sick though, wasn't he?
No, I had to work early. Had to be working 5
Oh
days.
no, that was right. Last one you had to be in to work an hour early.
What's up, Carp Anglers? How you guys doing out there? James Sanders here, and
Ricky Massey.
man, you guys are off your cue, man. Man, what's like we getting some new people here or something? Oh man, they got Carp Talk. You know, I'm from New England. Who are these guys? And this is where you guys say, "Oh, my name is James Sanders."
My name's Ricky Massey.
Oh, there you go.
My name's James Sanders.
No, Tommy. But anyway,
That's what you said.
See, more specific.
man, I still got the lights going on. Okay, there you go.
See, that's what was throwing us off. We wasn't in mode
Yeah,
yet.
we
We were
Oh,
still
you
in
guys, gotcha.
You were off your game.
Feel like I'm on. Yeah, see, I got the video on. That's on. Check. All right. You got
Gilbert Summer.
you do have it right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, Carp Anglers. Man, I've got a good show today. Special guest, Gilbert Huxley. Man, this is probably what, the second or third time I feel like he's been on our show.
At least,
Yeah.
they're probably closer to third or fourth.
The GOAT.
But he's actually, he's been a part of the team though too. He's
Yeah,
been part of
yeah.
the team for a while too.
Yeah, right there at the beginning. He joined.
He's one of the pioneers.
Yep. And the pioneers of Hoosier Carpers. But
He's a trendsetter and don't even know it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
For real.
So, but
A lot of knowledge,
A
man.
lot of knowledge.
what do you guys
And willing
think?
to share it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the tournament going on there so far?
Where? You
See a
talking
lot
about
of
the
fish
new,
caught. West Virginia.
the West Virginia tournament?
The New River Carp Open.
Yeah. I've seen some fish caught.
Yeah.
Indiana team, Dave Adams and Stanley and
You got Jack and Justin Sears down there. You got some fish fighters down there from the PA.
yep, go Fish Fighters, go Adams Outdoors.
Yep.
Yee.
You know. So, of course, you got how many states do you think is in that whole group?
Man.
What? That from everywhere?
Yeah.
How many people
Yeah,
showed
how
from
many
different
from-
states?
I don't know how many teams they actually had.
I'd say at least 6 or more.
6 teams.
No,
No,
6
six
different
states.
states.
Oh,
I think
probably
it's more. I think it's more.
Probably
than that.
right. I'm guessing
it's
on the
gotta
low
be more
end.
than that. Because you got Indiana for sure, North Carolina, might even got some South Carolina guys
You got some
there.
Pennsylvania
Got
guys.
some PA
You probably
guys
got some West
there.
Virginia guys.
Yep.
Shout out to your guys' teams. You guys go ahead
Might
and post
even have
it on
some
here.
Georgia,
Shout
you
out
know.
to who you want to win, or
There's a
cheer 'em on.
there's a couple. I know of one for sure. There's one all female team.
Yeah, they're doing good.
What?
The first fish was a 23
Yeah,
pounder, I think.
they fish every tournament.
Yeah, I seen that.
what,
That's
all
the-
female team?
Yep.
Yeah,
Man, times has changed.
they just posted a 23 even.
Mhm. That was their first fish.
Yeah, that was their first fish. Was a 23 even.
And what? I think it has to be 18 to be on the board.
I think so.
I think 18 or bigger.
Yeah.
Who's got the getting up? We don't have no upcoming tournaments yet, do we?
I mean, there's always the MCM tournaments. You know what I'm saying? That going on every Sunday.
White River
That's,
Tournament in
that's
June.
June 1st, White River Tournament, which we have every
Next
year.
tournament's this weekend.
Right. Yeah. So wow. So you guys got anything else to talk about? Well, how's your guys' week? You guys' week went all right?
Busy.
Busy. I'm fine. I'm on a diet.
Finished. I just
Seafood
I
diet?
just work.
No,
Seafood
man.
That's what I'm on.
Carnival diet. Carnival.
Carnival food?
Not carnival food.
I was about to say, you might be
Come on, let's put him on the spot.
No.
You brought it up.
Carnivore. Am I saying that right?
Carnivore.
Carnivore. Kind of
Meat
that's what I
He's
said.
a meat eater.
A meat diet, yes.
So you're coming out the closet.
No. Lord. Wow, you just threw that out there, didn't you? Like,
You set yourself up for that.
No, you walked right into that. He's a meat eater.
no. Yeah. No. Wait, no way. No.
Nah,
Not
he's
that.
eating. He's just on a
Yeah,
meat
protein.
diet.
All protein diet. And within 3 days, I already lost 5 pounds. So.
Lost weight. I thought you gained weight eating
No.
protein.
No. Protein, huh?
Well, if you're eating all meats, you're not
Yeah,
eating no
you're-
breads and noodles.
yeah, no breads, no
And that's
noodles,
Really,
it's
that,
nothing but
that's my
meat.
problem. Man, I love.
I love bread and noodles.
Man, I do too.
That's my
I gotta tell you-
Hey, spaghetti.
Yeah, I had spaghetti before I got
You know what I mean? Like,
My cousin Rex, he told me about this diet, and he's already
You
started.
figure since he catches bigger fish than you,
There we go.
try his
Yeah, we
diet.
got. See, this is the kind of stuff I have nightmares about. I go to bed and I lose sleep over this. He is like, she's wondering what the hell's wrong with me.
hey, shout out to all the sponsors.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody
Yes.
that supports us.
Makes it happen.
Make it happen.
You know, whether they.
Actually, our
just help
sponsor
with
line's getting pretty
It
good.
don't matter what they help with, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, our sponsors and supporters.
Yeah.
Big Money
Big Money
Beepers.
Beepers. We appreciate Mike Thornburg, man.
yeah.
He's ever since he came on the scene, man. He's helped us a lot, man.
Uh-huh.
And
All the subscribers, the viewers, everybody
Yeah,
that watches.
USA Carp Guide.
shout out to all the flavor companies because we don't discriminate. We like them all. It don't matter what
If it's support the carp, carp thing.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Just getting the sport out there.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, man, it don't matter where you carp fish. It don't matter if you was raised around the Pay Lake or you was raised around wild water. We shouldn't be arguing and fighting with each
Nope.
other. We should all be putting all that hatred against
The bow.
everybody, against the bow anglers. You know what I mean? Until there's a law that changes the way people take fish or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's been a real touchy subject here lately.
That's touchy.
Yeah.
Touchy.
But like I said, until the government puts a law on it, you know what I mean? It ain't
But
gonna,
that's
it ain't
part
gonna
of our whole
change.
thing is getting to the game fish anywhere. And if it's a game fish, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, but why ain't somebody taking up
Like
a
Connecticut,
like a petition?
Connecticut's they're protected. In
Well, that's
Texas,
that's
they're working
because
on that
them
also
people
for
went
the
and was
buffalo.
like, hey,
Right.
would you sign this?
And
You know
that's
what I mean?
what
Hey,
something
would you
needs to
sign
be
this?
done in
Yeah.
that nature before that can even happen.
So instead of putting all the hatred towards Pay Lakers or Wild Waters,
Put
or
your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, it's an endless
So,
road.
that's what
You're
I'm
beating
saying.
the dead horse.
But why wouldn't somebody come up with a plan to, have thousands upon thousands of signatures every time if they go to these big tournaments where there's 50 teams?
Instead of pointing out the problem, find a solution.
Yeah, find a solution. Let's you know what I mean? Let's
We'll
get
get
it
there
to
one
where
day. We'll find out.
it's going to take one day.
Yeah.
It's just knowledge. You know what I mean? And that's what everybody needs.
Get into the right channels,
just
do
get
the
into
right
it.
channels, talk to
You
the
know,
right
do
people.
it the right way instead of bashing somebody.
Yeah,
and trying to-
bashing is going to get you nowhere.
No.
Nowhere but probably frustrated and mad, just
It's
like the other
not,
person.
man, because
And it ain't even worth it because
you
I
could
mean,
be,
it's the internet at the end of the day.
it is, man.
Yeah,
You could be ruining some little kid's dreams
Yeah.
because that's all he know.
And he don't know no different.
He's seen his dad be a Pay Laker his whole life. Now, since he's been a kid, now he's
I'll
8,
never
9
go
years.
fish again.
Yeah, now I want to. Now
hard.
I don't want to be talked about like
You
how
have
my
more time
dad's
to polish
talked
your
about.
medallion.
Yeah. Always passionate about that. Well,
Like you said, it's really a lose-lose situation
Yeah,
until the
it's-
government steps up.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Anything.
It's been changed.
Put any efforts put towards hating somebody.
hey,
put
shout out
towards
to Zach Myers. What up, bud?
finding a
My
solution.
brother. Tia, what's up, Tia? How you doing, my lady?
Tia's trying to win James's bottom feeder baits.
Well, Tia is already talking to Gilbert online, man. What the heck, man?
He has that effect on people.
He does. David Spears, what's up, brother? Drew. So, Rick, oh, you're watching Ricky, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
I
all right.
guess.
Well, she's, you guys ready to call Gilbert?
yeah.
He's waiting. He's
Yeah.
ready.
Talk to
Yeah,
him.
But back to shout out, like I said, shout out to everybody that supports us. We
Yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Mhm.
Let's don't you?
Huh?
He knows everybody in the city.
Knows
Man,
everybody.
I do know a lot of people. But.
Tommy, I know a guy, Pearson.
Hello.
Gilbert Huxley. How you doing, brother?
Hey, the goat is in the
That's what you should
building.
do it for now.
That's what the grandbaby does when you do it to her.
You better believe it.
What's up, Gilbert? How you doing, brother?
Not much, man.
Yeah. So.
Just hanging in here while I'm
Yeah.
a little anxious to talk about my passion.
Well, man, you just came back from Del Hollow, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and it's one of those things. That's what I want to talk about, so people won't get discouraged. I've been going there almost 20 years straight now,
Yeah.
and I've got over 30-some trips in at Del Hollow.
Right.
And out of those 30, I have blanked only about 5 times.
Wow.
And this last trip was one of them.
Oh, you
But
blanked?
I did hook one and played it all the way to the bank. It was a nice fish. It went back and forth probably about 5 or 6 minutes in front of me. So I know it was a large fish. That's all I could say.
Right.
And it came unbuttoned at the bank. So, but
Them are always the biggest ones.
Yeah.
But I did get to feel one. But
Yeah.
no one caught any fish other than Charlie Napier came back.
I seen Charlie there.
Yeah. So the Carpinator
The
came back and he
Carpinator.
went down to Del Hollow with us.
That's
He
awesome,
caught
man.
a nice fish, and then Rick caught one. But Rick Swinker is on a massive plunge for this top 4, the top 4 tag top 4.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get a back-to-back, huh?
Yeah, he won last year, won some nice prizes, and one of the things I want to talk about, we'll do that later, is what to expect when you get to Del Hollow for the first time,
Yeah.
or even later in the year, what Del Hollow can do to you if you don't have it in your heart.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a nice little piece I wrote, and about Del Hollow, and just for you to show, guys, and later on I'd like to sit down and read between the lines to you what I've dealt with over 20 years
Try that a little bit.
of going there, and some of the repercussions of heartaches and the wonders of the heart-fulfilled trips I've had, and a lot of my people that went with me had them too.
Right, right. Man,
I'm ready. I want to hear it.
yeah.
I wanna hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. You wanna talk?
Okay, well, it started way back with Rich Slinker and I just pictured together, and I went on a houseboat with my family. And I said, well, I booked a trip on a Hendricks Creek houseboat on Del Hollow,
Right.
thinking of being the smallmouth capital of the world.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, maybe there might be some carp there, but then I wasn't going to take my fishing gear. After a while, I decided not to take my gear. And Charlie Napier, the Carpinator, said, Gilbert, you cannot go to Del Hollow without your gear. It's got big fish down there. There's got to be big carp.
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea that the fully scaled mirrors and the regular mirrors were so plentiful there, and that's how it all started. And with all those years, the first time I ever blanked was I didn't feel disheartened at all. I spent, probably 7 days there on the bank, and when I finished the trip home was more towards what I got out of it with my friends on the bank, the time with them, the time alone on the bank. It's just wonderful down there. It's so beautiful. So
Yeah.
I've always regarded a blank as being actually a break in my life.
Oh.
Yes. It's better than being at home on the couch.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. And so when I think back more about the times that I didn't catch any fish, most likely no one else did either. So it's not like
Oh, yeah.
I've ever sit there and watched people around me catch fish like crazy. And then I always wanted to share that and give people a chance to catch those big fish, and I would give up a spot. I think Tommy, I did that with Tommy once.
Yeah.
And
We
gave
blanked.
up my
We
spot,
blanked.
let him fish up there, and he caught it 30, didn't he, buddy?
Yeah, well, we blanked for a whole week.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling, and then I was able to come back a week later, and then I still blanked for the first 3 days. Man, it was just I don't know. It was just the spot that I was in because I went back and fished the same spot, And then, Gilbert was like, man, Tommy, move over here. And I moved over there. And then that night I hit my PB.
Nice.
Everybody was asleep.
What do you think? It might have been like certain holes, a hole back there or something like that?
I don't know.
They were all gathering up.
It's hard telling what I could have been fishing in weed beds or what. It don't matter. It's hard telling what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was
Well, you
throwing.
gotta look at this. You gotta look at this way, guys. These trips are nomadic. They do 24/7. They have probably, I would say, hundreds of places where they feed. And when they clear up the new growth or whatever they're attracted to at the time, when they clear that up, they move on. Now, they don't come back to that spot until they get their whole position. They just keep doing the same thing. Rotating around that lake, break off and come back. Some go all the way to the side of the lake and then come back that way. It's a traffic pattern that all carp do. They do it in rotation of the feeding spot.
Yeah.
So that's why when I first tell people, you get there, you bait up an area, pretty heavy.
Right.
But do not add any more bait. I don't care if 2 weeks have gone by. There's no reason to put any bait up there. You've not add anything into a bait. So then when they want to find your spot and start feeding, you'll know it. To start getting some chatter on your alarms, next thing you know, they'll start working. So the one thing I say is when you pick from, bait up only the spot where the fish came from.
Right.
The other two can be sitting there with a ton of bait and you're putting too much on the bank.
Yeah.
And that's just one tip right there that I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
And so it's really exciting that I can do this and then bring it to everyone's attention. Now, another little thing I want to share before I let you guys have the floor is when you go fishing with somebody, make it somebody that you respect and that you can get along with. Going with people that will make a negative response is not what you want when you're down there in God's heaven and fishing with a beautiful fish.
Oh, yeah.
You got other things to worry about. You got other work to do other than arguing, having snips at each other, and even the threats of busting somebody up. It's happened. I've seen it happen. James used to also almost happen.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things I tell all my people are, when you talk about go with somebody you really like.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to be really feeling bad, especially if you're there for a week.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Hey, and you better hope everybody ain't blanking that week.
Everybody's gonna be frustrated.
Hey, because I was mad too because I didn't spend this is a lot of money.
Mad?
I was just first. I wasn't
anger
mad.
problems?
I was frustrated.
Oh, frustrated.
I was just frustrated,
Yeah.
and it was
That's negative energy.
It was
right
getting
there.
the best of me.
That's negative.
All I could do was sit over there in my tent and smoke. That's all I could do.
Cigarettes? Cigarettes?
Then I smoked cigarettes too.
Oh, okay.
Too.
The only thing is, come to Del Hollow with the bait you are really good at.
Right.
Don't worry about what the other person is using because those carp are wild carp.
Yeah.
And they'll hit anything that appeals to them. And your bait might be a lot more dominant than these fancy baits that some of us are making now. You come in with grits and go to cream corn and you might be the winner of everything, and have a great trip. So don't worry about your ground bait. The hook baits are primary, what you guys really think about. The ground bait is, you can use anything. It's great, that thing about these carp. So, the hook baits are your secret and your flavors.
Yeah.
There are some great flavors out there, and we all know that already.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot
It's
out
all
there.
about confidence. Whatever you're confident in is what's usually gonna work for you.
Man, we had confidence in K-Row and Kool-Aid.
Hey,
Well,
that's
I
what
did
does
too.
it. That's what does it.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. Gilbert, hey, we ran out of the cherry flavor.
Yeah, I did.
We ran out of the cherry flavor, so we literally took the boat back to the dock, went to the nearest little whatever we could find, and only.
Oh, you made your own glug.
Yeah. it was just K-Row. It was just K-Row and Kool-Aid.
That's fine.
But
Come back and start catching them again.
it started catching them again.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we would just train them, like crazy. A lot of people said, have you ever hooked one that you know has been caught before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, if the answer is yes, twice. I caught a fish
Had red
line
lips.
on me earlier, and I just caught him a day or two later with my hook still in her mouth.
Did it have red lips? Did it have a Kool-Aid smile?
Hey,
Yeah, 2 days they were ready to feed again, so don't think that they won't feed right away, because they will, after they've been hooked once.
that happened. That happened when we was down there the first week. Nick Swayze had got a run and went over there, and when he swung, somehow it snapped his line. The very next day, on the day that we was leaving, Gilbert had got a run that morning, and he caught a fish. And Nick had a run and caught a fish that morning, and he caught the same fish. It had the same matching rig in his mouth. That
That's the thing about carp, you can tell by the
Is that the one I
scales
went
too.
with you?
Huh?
I went to you. That one.
I think that's
No.
so cool on that
That was the week
album.
after.
No, we can't. I did though. I came back the next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really wild, because that's happened a couple times to me, not just once, but a couple times in all the years.
Yeah.
Last year I was fishing the canal, and I fished about 2 hours either before work or after work, and about in a week period I caught the same fish 3 times, and it had a little crook to its back, had a messed up mouth, so it was pretty identifiable.
Yeah.
And I caught that same fish 3 times within a week's period.
That crook back on a lot of carp, I think that's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think that's something that's happened yet. I don't think it's something that's happened to them, because there's too many of them in too many places.
Yes.
Rick caught a couple of them in a row down at Del Hollow with a crooked back.
You know,
I got one of my favorite
ones.
ones.
Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So it's got to be a genetic thing.
probably right. I never really thought
You guys
about
don't
it.
think they've been beat up and jumped?
No.
Like, you don't think them are gang members?
They've been initiated.
That's right.
They've been initiated to the show.
You don't
One
think?
did
Hey,
have a patch on his eye, yeah.
hey, they from Hallville.
Oh no, he said all of them.
Hey, they from the west side.
Oh man.
There was one time I caught about 18-pound, we'll call it a linear mirror,
Wow.
and there was an arrow broken off through his eyes.
No.
And it had all healed up, and the arrow was broken off on each side, and it wrapped straight through his eyes.
No.
And he was still alive, he was milking and feeding.
Wow.
And everybody said, "You take that arrow?" I said, "Well, hell no, I didn't take that arrow. I'd have killed it."
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was living and feeding and milking, but that arrow healed in his, right straight through his eyes.
Yeah, eventually, well, I guess depending on how it was in it, eventually it would force it out, won't it?
Yeah, your body discards anything that ain't natural. I know humans
I
do.
don't know how it would come out.
No.
If you even wanted to, because once that got healed, there was no pain.
You know that I'm not. You sure got a picture of that. That was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. When I was
Well, at the time, it was so flabbergasting and
Oh,
horrifying
gotcha.
to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to. I wanted to get him loose and get him loose back into
Back
the
in the
water
water.
and let him go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
even apologized to him
Oh.
for catching him.
When I was fishing up north, there was this one fish, talking about re-catching fish, but it had a slit down the bottom of its stomach, and it's like guts was almost hanging out. And I caught
Oh,
this
my.
fish, and it was the strongest fish I've ever. It's probably about 22 pounds. I caught it, and it was the strongest fish I ever caught, and the healthiest fish besides that split. And then about 2 weeks later, I caught it again. You could see where the gut was already starting to close up and heal, and it was still. I caught a 30 out of that lake, and that was the strongest fish out of every fish. I caught a lot of high 20s, and that fish downright
It's a fighter.
with the slit in the stomach and guts. I got pictures of it too. Both times I caught it. It was I was pretty impressed with how well it maintained with its guts almost hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, there's stories about veterans climbing Hamburger Hill with their stomach split out and all their guts hanging out, and they make it to the top of the hill and live.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a known thing about living beings that if you can hold on to them, you can live. That's the one thing about being that way. But it's really something about the success story. What a carp is so resilient, and that's probably one of the reasons why General Grant brought them to the United States to feed the people after the Civil War.
After Civil War, yeah.
And because of the resiliency and, how much they can take. And, of course, they multiply in the hundreds. So, and that was a good thing, too, at the time. But now, that has to be governed. I hate to say it does have to be governed, but not by the public.
Right.
Like catching them and throwing them in the weeds. That's not going to do nothing.
No.
Tracks
To
flies.
me, I had a guy come to my booth one time at the boat show.
Boat sports
And he
show.
was flipping through my magazine. Yeah, I shoot these. I said,
Wow.
you do? I said, what are you shooting for? He goes, all sport. I said, what do you do with them? Oh, we just throw them in the trash. And I said to him, well, I'm sorry. And he said, why are you sorry? I said, because I won't see you in heaven. And he turned me into Carp Angler's Group because at the time I was an officer of Carp Angler's Group, and I got a little chewing out by the president.
Well,
But,
that's what happened.
I'm not going to see him in heaven for killing for no reason.
right.
If you're going to use them for fertilizer, okay. You're going to benefit something. If you're going to eat them, okay. But just out of them throw them in the trash.
Right.
Come on.
Yes, right.
It's always been a pet peeve of mine. And I hope that's said to each and every angler that loves carp.
We, you and me had a conversation a while back, and that was over a year ago, and we was talking about, you had like a lot of good info about Asian carp and all that kind of stuff, and of course, Asian carp's not part of the carp family, the common carp family, but they just got the name part.
Yeah.
And
just like the grass carp and double carp, even
right.
It's in a different family.
Or the buffalo carp.
Yeah.
And I think you remember right, you was kind of telling me how they're spreading around everywhere. Of course they are. And
Illinois are bad, Missouri are
and
bad.
they're trying to, at the time they were trying to hold back from them to get into Lake Michigan. But now that what you told me, I think a while back, that they go ahead and let them go because I believe they got something to do. They could sterile them. Am I right?
Yeah. Let me go further a little bit. The electric fences have kept the carp from crossing over physically into it, but the DNA of all these carp is in Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
From incoming waters. It picks up DNA from fish, dead fish, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's in the waters of Lake Michigan, but there's no physical fish yet. Now, the DNR has developed what they call a micro bullet.
Okay.
It's a micro size, and it attacks the reproduction system of the carp, the male carp. And it said that in the 5 to 10 years, that there would be not another fingerling ever born in the wild.
Oh wow.
But there was some problems. It did hit other fish, and so they had to do a little more work, and I've not heard an update on that.
Okay.
They had been a lot of lakes where they know there wasn't no other fish there, and it's been very, very successful in wiping them completely out in 5 years.
Just the Asians?
Yeah.
Just the Asians. They targeted their DNA to reproduction, and they just cannot produce any longer. And in 5 years, they're pretty well out because unannounced, Asian carp grow fast,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they don't age very very long. Not like the common. The common can work 30 years, but they grow a little slower. But these Asian carp grow so fast that their life expectancy is a little shorter.
All right.
And so, with that in mind, it was in 5 years in one lake in Arkansas they treated, and in 5 years there wasn't one single living Asian carp in that lake.
Really?
And it was badly infested.
Wow.
In 5 years. But what they did was they targeted that lake because most of the adults were young adults.
Right.
There was no big old adults.
Okay.
Just the young ones. And that's how they wiped them out.
I also heard that the Asian carp was pretty good eating. Actually.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's the next thing. You don't have to soak them. It's a nice white, fluffy, tasty, and it doesn't have any oils. It's misleading the taste. But once again, they're wanting to change the name of the fish too.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's like oh boy, I forgot what it was, but it was a pretty cool name. But it sounded like it was something you could eat.
Right. Okay.
That's what in Missouri they got a real bad problem with it.
They're trying to make it a commercial.
They're trying to get people to eat them instead of throw them on the boat ramps. Because in Missouri, everywhere, like anytime you ask somebody or tell somebody, "Hey, I fish for carp," first thing, "Oh, you throw them on the bank, don't you?"
Yeah.
And they assume that it's, and it was like that all through Illinois to the center part of Illinois, and all the way over to St. Louis. Everywhere I fished, they were bad with the carp. But most of the lakes there, they would shock the lake, and anything to come up that had carp in its name, common carp, grass carp, I mean even buffalo, they shocked up, they would kill it and get rid of it, because a lot of the lakes there were for kayaking, and you get a school of them. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a school of them Asian carp explode, but it'll startle you. It'll definitely knock you on a kayak.
Yeah, they'll jump in the boat.
When I was in Illinois fishing that spillway, I got in a big flathead catfish, 30 plus pound, and right when I got it up to the bank, it went through a school of Asian carp, and they exploded right in front of where I was standing. It startled me. I jumped. And I mean, they were so close to the bank that they jumped so high up, they were on the bank flopping. And you go all down the river or the little discharge, and you can see them where either people's caught them or they've actually jumped out. And I'm like, man, that'd be dangerous for a kayaker or somebody in a small watercraft.
Right.
Oh yeah, it is dangerous. There's been people seriously hurt. And put in the hospital over it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing high speed, you go and bust one of those explosions, man. You're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, I've seen them things clear the water 5-6 feet. I mean, from the bottom of their tail to the top of the water, and 20 plus pound fish. I mean, like it's nothing. Yeah,
that's the shame about it. Now, the thing about the silver carp is that you talk about the big flatheads.
Right.
In 5 to 10 years, if you allow those silver carp to live, there won't be those big flatheads anymore, because they will eat every roe, every fingerling that's hatched.
So,
and the numbers outnumber every fish in that river.
Yeah, them Asians
And
do.
they will 100% take over. There won't be bluegills, there won't be crappie, there won't be catfish, there won't be saugers, there won't be anything in it except them.
The place in Illinois where I was talking about where I was fishing, it was known, actually, it kind of goes against what you're saying, but it was known for the different species. The 2 days I went there, I caught 13 species myself. I mean, fishing. And then there's been over, I think, 39 species caught from this spot. I seen spoonbill catfish caught. I seen Asian carp caught. I seen big head carp caught, grass carp, buffalo, commons, crappies, channel cats, flatheads. I mean, I seen about every species you can think of caught, and it was pretty neat watching.
And praise the Lord that it's still happening, but I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah.
And that species will take over any waters that they're in.
They're definitely very aggressive
they multiply
fish.
3 times the amount of a common carp, and they eat everything. They even eat roots or plants. So it's going to kill all the habitat. They're going to kill all the roe, all the fingerlings, and they will eat every fish in that lake.
They just swim around.
In 20 years.
They swim around with their mouth
Mark
open.
my words, I won't be around, but you guys may be. One of you might be. You'll say, the old man was right.
How old are you now,
The old man
Gilbert?
was right.
How old are you now, Gilbert?
I'm 75.
75. Wow.
I'll be glad to be around.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And still getting out to fish.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my wife, Tia, today. I was like, the retirement time I get ready to retire, I have to be 67 to retire.
Right.
The men in my family don't make it that long.
Shoo. No. And you're right there at 76, brother. And you were doing good. Getting around and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Still carp fishing, still doing what you love to do.
Still
He's
do
got
it.
that. You seen his 3-wheel tricycle
four-wheel
too?
drive.
Oh, yeah, he
4-wheel
tricycle.
drive, boy.
4-wheel drive
Got
with a
20s on the
three-wheeler.
back, 10s on the front.
Keep it
Hey, you had that down there with you when you was in Del Hollow too, didn't
Oh
you?
my God! Did
Yeah, I took it down with me.
oh jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mainly just to ride to the bathroom, but it's so far away.
Can you
You
tell
know,
Can you
when a
tell,
75-year-old man,
what
when a
spot?
75-year-old man's got to go bathroom, man, he's got to have something to get there quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What spot did you guys fish at?
Well, we did Cold Creek,
Cold Creek, gotcha.
and you know, the one thing about Cold Creek is the winds.
Yeah.
And we had, out of my 5 days, we had 3 days of high winds and rain, cold, and it tore up Charlie Napier's brand new $129 candy like a noodle.
Jeez, I can
It
believe
was all
that.
tied down, and that wind just twisted like it was a piece of spaghetti.
That's what happened to me when we went to Texas. I had mine all staked down, all 4 of them, had 2 coolers tied to it. I'm in there braced to my bivvy, holding on, making sure it don't go nowhere. I heard a big noise. I look out, and my whole canopy's up against Rick's tent. I'm about to knock
Ricky thought he was in
over.
Kansas.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't in Kansas. They ripped all my stakes up, all my tie downs
Did I get
up.
your dog Dodo too?
Hey,
Do you
Lee,
guys know? If you guys know Jim from Richmond, Indiana, I
Oh,
don't remember
yeah,
his last
Jim
name.
Weatherly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
him.
ma- he makes
just
all the
got
ra-
a 40, he just got a 42.
oh my God!
Where at? In Indiana? Or?
Uniform.
Oh, nice.
See,
James.
that was,
Hey, James
You
baited
know-
it up for him.
yeah. Tell him he's welcome. Okay. I was going to ask you about that. That was my next question. I just came back from Taylor Ford a couple of weeks ago, and what do you think is a good time to go to Taylor Ford?
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not during spawn,
Okay.
because the water's up, and they just ignore everything that they're in. But I like the fall,
The fall
early
time?
fall, about late September, early October, because the water is still down, and you go down on the bank and you can reach the channel. Casey, Joe, and I did a little thing called Pay Lake or Gone Wild.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and we caught like 40-some fish in 5 days, and it was no 30s, but everything was 28, 29, and a lot of males. But it was a heyday of a trip, and it was pretty early.
Yeah.
Everybody kept saying, "You're going too early, Gilbert. You're going too early," and I kept thinking, "I don't think so." And boy, didn't it pay off to go.
Wow.
So I like early.
Yeah, September
Now,
time.
Rick likes late. He likes to go late in the year, like, you know, late October, early November. I don't care for that. It's too cold for this old man.
Yeah, it gets cold.
Hey, and you know what's
Yeah,
crazy?
Rick ain't a big fan of the code either.
Hey, I knew I have heard of Gilbert back then.
You heard of Gilbert?
I only seen
Why-
him on the bags of
Why?
milk.
Well, I'm saying I had heard of him before. You know, I've heard the name and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But Casey Joe's the one that actually introduced me to Gilbert.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Um,
I remember meeting you at that place there off of Mount Comfort Road.
Yep, off of Mount Comfort Road. We went out there and fished or whatever, and Gilbert was
I
out
think I
there.
remember something like that.
He was out there just sitting there, boy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
just he was catching fish though.
He,
always
uh,
gets his
Yeah,
fish.
he was
Yeah.
definitely catching
that you said Pay Lakers going wild. There was a good article that you guys did a while back on that.
Yeah,
What was
Yeah.
that? That was the.
You know,
I wrote an article.
Yeah.
I wrote an article for NACA.
I was supposed to go.
you were supposed
Hey,
to-
back to
Yeah, you were supposed to go.
I
That's
was supposed
right.
to go and wasn't able to make it. Like that day I met Gilbert. Like they offered for me to go on that trip. And that,
I remember that.
I remember them sending me pictures. I'm like, man, I wish I should have went.
Taylor Ford. Do you fish that channel or do you fish the edge of the shelf of the channel?
Well, this water's up your fish.
Oh, well, when the water's down, you can't reach it when you're up, when the water's up.
Nope.
It's
the
200 yards to that
Oh, I
channel.
know. The one time I fished it, it was down real low, and I found that
Yeah,
channel.
when
Is
you
it?
get down where you got to drive down and you're down
Yeah.
probably
Yep.
50 yards, you
Yeah.
can reach the channel.
Is that what we mean?
But it was about 60 foot deep. Did you actually fish in that deep of water, or did you fish on that
Well,
shelf?
yeah, but I was on right on the down on this side of the channel. So I wasn't in the channel middle. It was
Okay.
too deep.
Right.
And on the other side, you crossed and you would get all the boat traffic in it,
Yeah,
yeah.
keep your lines and stuff. So I fished the edge going down right on the side that I'm fishing up from that bank.
Okay.
So it was probably about a 90-yard cast to
Okay.
get there.
It was even lower than that. Yeah, when we was there,
At
it was
that
about.
time, at that time, that was about the maximum. So it was I had to concentrate each time to get 90 yards. But Casey could throw a pretty good throw with those Pele rods. But he fished 3 days with that equipment and Pele food until he switched over and then he got onto the fish.
Nice, nice.
I had an extra set of rods and alarms and rod bot and everything for him, and he switched over and started using my bait, and he had a heyday.
Man, I had one rod out in the middle of that channel. We kayaked some out, and
Yeah.
I thought I had a monster fish. I started getting my alarm started going off. I go get the rod. I reel it, man. I
That's
keep
funny.
the rod's going left, the rod's going right, and it's just there's so much tension on it. It feels like it's pulling
It was a
drag.
weird bringing it in.
Yeah, it felt a little different, but it felt heavy.
Yeah.
And I get it all the way up to the bank, and it was an IU umbrella.
IU
wide
umbrella.
open. It was a big umbrella, span all the way open, so it was just spinning in the water. Like, man, I got a pig. I got a monster. And
An
I get
IU
it.
umbrella from Indiana boys.
Yep. I still got it at home. I saved it.
But I lost that umbrella.
I got your umbrella for you. I've been saving
I'm
it.
just kidding. Just kidding.
But
That reminds me of there in Michigan at Holland at the wooden shoe one year. I had one of those stick in the ground umbrellas that Jimmy used to sell.
yeah, yeah.
And the wind picked it up, and I had that thing for a long time. The wind picked it up and went straight up in the air. I looked up and I said, "Goodbye, old friend." See you later. And he just went right in the water and disappeared.
It's gone. Yeah.
But that was an old lifesaver of mine. I wandered underneath that umbrella for years.
That's another fun spot to fish up there in Holland.
Oh, yeah.
If you could deal with the smell from the factory, that factory puts off some awful smells.
What factory?
Heinz
I know.
factory.
Oh, I know.
I think they do ketchup
I
and
know.
other stuff, but yeah, it's fine.
That's part of it, though.
So,
yeah,
but-
it is.
Anyway, Rick right now is down Del Oliver, 6 SIX
Weeks.
in a billy.
He's on his spring diet, as he calls it.
Yeah, and last year he won the Big Four, and he's won. He's right now only about
Man.
James wants to leave and go back.
20
Yeah,
pounds
dude.
of beating the guy that's in first place right now with 129.
Who's in first place right now?
A guy he mentioned to me, but I didn't catch on. I never heard of his name before, but he's got 129 and up north he's at.
Yeah.
But northwest.
With the big fish.
So
Yeah,
it's where the
about
big
Michigan
fish are.
is
Or probably.
And Rick's got
Pennsylvania,
330s and a high 20 right now, so he's one fish over 30, and he'll be in first place again. So that's what he's hoping. He's only got another week or so, and he's got to come home.
Hey, I was asking, do you know the record for the Big Four? Who has the record for it?
Oh, the record for no, I don't know that, but I know that Rick had that 40 last year,
Right.
so that got really put him over the top.
Yeah, the
DeWan's
guy he
not
went
right,
with actually
Huh?
beat him by a few ounces, I heard, but he didn't bring his Big Four sign.
Who's Mike? Who's the one down there with? Right?
Mike Martin.
Mark Martinez.
That's who,
Mark Martin, yeah.
he was fishing with Rick last year, and he had 438s,
Wow.
and that's what he called him 38 special. But he actually had Rick by a few ounces, but he didn't take his Big Four sign, and so Rick had
Wow.
his Big Four sign.
So is Rick actually fishing in that same spot for 6 weeks?
Yep.
Okay, I can dig it.
Home away from home.
I want to do that.
He's got a great looking, campsite up. He's got all that fancy gear now. He's won.
Yeah.
He's got 2 bivvies up.
Poor
He's got
guy.
a gazebo. He's got a real nice setup.
That gazebo-
It's pleasant being there.
That gazebo is
So does he
nice.
have a houseboat? Put 2 there?
No, it's a pull-up camp spot.
Is it?
You pull right up.
Yeah.
Camp
You
right
got a
there.
big boat, you use a big boat and everything, man. I tell you what, he's first class.
I don't think I've ever been there before.
I haven't either.
At Cold Creek,
Yeah.
wow, it's wide open parking lot.
Yeah.
Beautiful place, nice and clean. It's nothing like Taylor Ford.
Yeah, Taylor Ford's beautiful, but
Yeah,
It's hit and miss.
That's primitive over there.
It's definitely
And these are really nice campsites with grills and picnic tables on them and everything.
yeah.
And you can get your site, then you go down and grab a piece on the shore.
Wow.
And that's what we did. We booked. I didn't even go to my place where I booked, the picnic table, because I just stayed in my car. But and I was probably 18, 20 steps away from my rods.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, man. I think I'm gonna try that here soon.
yeah. There's a big spot now. The mall
Yeah.
caught 2, one over 30 and one just under 30, by the ramp. On the left side of the ramp, and you park right by it. I mean, you hop by your car, you hop over the guardrail, and it's there. You're there at your rods.
Yeah, I just
So-
seen his Kentucky session he had. He had one hell of a Kentucky session there. That's one of the states that always eludes me. I've traveled around, I've caught carp from a lot of states, but I can't get one out of Kentucky. It's always had my number. I
Well, I
always hit
saw a lot
it
of Carp Kentucky at the boat ramp when the water was down.
We
I'm not even talking about Del Hollow, I'm just talking about lakes in general. I've worked over there to where I fished while I was at work, and for a month or so at a time at different areas and by Lake Kentucky, and had a house on Lake Kentucky for about a month, and I was like, there ain't no carp in here. But the channel I was in was full of
You gotta hold your
muck.
mouth right when you're in Kentucky now.
You definitely do. I've learned that. That's one of the hardest states I've fished so far, I think.
When's the next time you're getting out and going, Gil?
Well, I tell you, I was gonna go up to North, to June 8th to Michigan's social fish-in.
That wooden shoes there.
But it looks like Rick may have scheduled me and Rick was going to go up, and schedule another surgery for his other knee now.
Oh wow. That's good.
Yeah, so he's going to get all cleaned up because he said it feels so good. The old knee
Didn't we
that got
fish
sick feels so good. He'd like to have 2 of them work like that, So
Where?
I think he's going to
The
get
shoe?
something repaired if it's not his back or his
This is
knee or something.
That's hard to get into.
And that was our
waiting
next plan thing. But there's a place here locally that I'm really excited about, and I'll share it if you like.
No,
where
don't, Gilbert, please
you know where
don't.
Geist Reservoir is,
Yeah.
Yes.
and on the north side of it is where Fall Creek comes in.
Okay.
There's a park on it called Geist Park. It's a brand new park,
There's a few
and it has a
local guys.
long trail that goes all the way to the mouth of the lake.
Mhm.
And there's about 8 or 9 swims all along that trail.
Really. Wow.
And last spring, at the tail, right before they started going to spawn, I caught 4 or 5 20s in one day. I mean, over 21 to 25. And I saw a couple of monster fish in there before the spawn. So I'm going to be spending some time here as soon as the flood snaps a little bit more. They don't spawn here because it's colder weather we're having right now.
Yeah.
In the cold rain.
That's going to keep them from spawning until probably middle of May. So last first 2 weeks of May, I'm going to be at Dice Park every day.
Nice. Hey, real quick, guys, you guys out there, if you guys got any questions for the legendary Gilbert Huxley, this is the GOAT here in Indianapolis, India. He's
Indianapolis,
very,
India.
yeah, is that what I said? Indianapolis, India? Yeah.
India.
Indianapolis. Indianapolis.
Also, if anyone ever wants to get a hold of me on a personal side, just, Facebook and look me up. I've helped many anglers, especially on Del Hollow trips.
Oh, yeah.
If you're serious about going to Del Hollow, I can help you out.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he definitely can. He definitely has the knowledge for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Not just about Del Hollow, but
Man,
he
I-
has a
I-
lot of knowledge
Yeah.
just in general.
How's you're probably one of the oldest carp anglers I know.
That's rude.
Yeah. Really? No, that's a great honor. You know how much experience and knowledge he has.
That's why I take every chance I can to get in with him and listen to
for
him.
76-year-old man. I mean, how's your casting skills? I mean, is your casting skills accurate still, or is it slightly slowed down?
Oh, they're very accurate.
I mean, do you need to take your try out there and drop it off, or I don't know.
Well, Rick will tell you that I'm not accurate, but I am pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But the distance has fallen some.
Okay.
I mean, I can probably do 80 yards max.
Okay, that's good. Still.
Well, it's all body strength, upper body strength because of my back being so bad that I generally cast on a little tall stool. I sit on a stool and I go through all the motions that you do on your upper body, and I can still get it out there pretty good.
I remember.
And well, they laughed and say, I said, well, if I didn't know how to do it with my arms, I wouldn't be able to get that distance.
Right.
That's for sure.
I remember.
But Gilbert Huxley seems to series rods, man. They'll chunk a ball.
Yeah.
Man,
Do you have any of them rods, Gilbert?
No, I wish I did. I would make a fortune.
I went all the way to Texas to fish, and Austin Anderson down there still had a set of 3 of their actual good ones without the micro eye. And that's the first time I ever actually seen those. And them were nice.
Actually,
they were powerful rods. They were 3.5s, but they would pass for 4.5. And but it was like a free bird. You couldn't break them. I never once. I had a lifetime guarantee on those rods.
Yeah.
And I've only out of 2,500 sneakers series that I sold, 1.001% came back.
Right. Yeah, they were great.
100. So that meant only about a 2.5 rods that I had to replace.
I still have. Matter of fact, I took my 3 to Dale Hollow.
Yeah.
I have these 13-footer Sonics, and I tell you the truth, I rather use the 12-foot signature Gilbert Huxley rods
with the micro.
That's the ones I got.
The ones with the micro.
That's the ones I got.
Oh, that's the Pro Series.
Yeah, and
with the microwave. Yeah,
I rather use those.
That was my second rod.
I rather use those than my 13-footers.
Them are the first matching set of 12-foot Euro rods I bought, and they're probably the toughest rods. Besides the eyes,
for the price,
the eyes spin around. But I fixed them. I fixed
that was one of the problems with them was the eyes do spin around on those, but
besides that, besides that, them are the toughest rods.
Yeah, they're great rods. It really was.
Yeah, but it's an easy fix.
Yep, I just drill a little hole and put some glue in.
Yeah.
I'll buy them back for $50 a piece.
I've still got a hold of them.
Probably 85 a piece.
They're probably worth more than that because
oh yeah,
hey,
they are.
Mine got an autograph on
I
it.
can get 150. After I repair them, I can get 150 each.
What happened, Gilbert? How do you not have your own your Gilbert rods?
This is the honest truth. Now I can say something about this because it's true. And that is, I was bought out by a big rod company.
Oh.
Because they didn't want to make my rod. They wanted me to assist in the seats of making the rod.
Okay.
Because it was flooding the market as they had a #1 rod in.
So, do you regret selling it?
Who was that #1 rod company?
The name of the company started with a G.
G.
Okay. There you go.
We're like deer in the headlight. With the G.
Big Money. It's a Big Money Rod Company. I really, blindly, I don't know how to say their name.
Not beach
Right.
stick.
But that was part of the group. That was part of the deal. Was no publication of who bought me on that like that.
All right, fine.
But they gave me a nice little deal that I just added to my retirement. So I tell you that right now.
Well, that's
I
good.
mean, I was shocked at what they wanted to pay me, and I already I'm not no more with me here. Okay.
Right.
I had already decided I wasn't going to make any more rods when the lawyer sent me the letter. So, when I got the letter, I was sure I'm not making them.
Send me another one.
Send me my check.
I did all the shipping and handling and everything myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So it got
remember
really quick. Over 3,000 rods sold.
Jim Donlan for Westside Bait and Tackle. He had a bunch of your rods in the shop.
Yeah, he had the Pro Series ones, and I had to reduce those because there was a lot of flaws with that rod. I got ripped off, and the company that made those rods are no longer in business.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the first rod, though, that company didn't want to make any more of them.
You remember?
So, second company ripped me off.
Right. Do you remember bank fishing system?
Yeah, BFF.
Yeah. What do you think about those? I thought those are great products for beginners.
It was, and they had some other stuff. The gear stuff was pretty quality.
Yeah.
Now the rods, they had really nice rods, but no one bought into those. They were targeting beginners.
All right.
And the BFS rod was a nice solid rod. I mean, it wasn't really sexy or nothing, but it could do the job. Those 12-footers could really throw and bring them in.
We could probably named it GH. Series. The GH
Or
series.
just the goat.
Or the goat.
Yeah, then somebody disclosed that means Gilbert Huxley. I do. Your Honor, I'm
Hey.
sorry. I didn't know they did it.
That's open for interpretation.
Yeah. It's,
He said we can change the real seat or something. The small changes wouldn't technically be the same.
Michael, stop talking on here. Talk to him, person.
He said he got his samples today.
Oh, good. I tell you, Gilbert, Michael Thornberg would be a good guy you want to talk to. If I highly recommend him. He's a great.
Well, I can. Well, let's don't say anymore. Just hook me up.
Yeah. Hook him up. Hook you guys up. 'Cause,
Hook me up. I could claim my need and what made that rod. That signature rod was a certain carbon fiber that is hard to get.
Yeah.
It's called chlorate carbon fiber.
And when it comes to the carbon, it's just like the weave in it that has the different strengths and stuff in it, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the way it's weaved. Yeah. And the carbon fiber itself is what same stuff that Ping makes the golf clubs with.
Yeah. He said he's gonna get. He said he's gonna get a hold of you, Gilbert. He said he's gonna get a hold of you.
Okay, very good. Sounds great.
Are you guys friends?
I don't think so, but what's his name?
Michael Thornberg. He's the owner of Big Money Beepers.
And what's his last name?
Thornberg. As a matter of fact, he was at the Carp Chili meet.
Is it David?
No,
Michael.
Mike. Okay, well, I don't have a request yet.
Yeah.
I got somebody calling here, but I don't think it's anybody I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to leave it for that.
Right.
Okay, so I won't answer anything.
Yeah.
We get an email, but whatever.
Yep. I'm sure he'll reach out to you, Gilbert.
All right. Is it all right? You want me to give him his phone number to you?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Gotcha. I got you, Michael. But
Anybody got any questions for Gilbert?
oh man, I'm surprised this thing ain't lighting up, man. This is Gilbert Huxley.
No, somebody got a question for him.
There's just so much an old man can tell you. And a lot of people want to learn on their own too, but I know I was one when, like David Moore, whenever he would speak. Yeah. But I listened up. I learned a lot from that man.
Yeah, David Moore. Yeah.
Yes, I mean he was one of my mentors when I first started. Was David Moore and such, and then after that it's all history. I was a treasurer for CAG for 3 years.
Yeah, he was.
1 year for David Moore and 2 years for Frank Walters. And that was experience. Yeah, Walters.
Wow.
Narda and Frank.
Also, you and a bunch of old Hoosier Carpers, anglers started the Hoosier Carpers club back in the day. You guys, as a matter of fact, you're one of the founders of it.
Yes, sir. Same guy, Joel. He was a dean at Ball State.
Yeah.
And I got together and we started Indy Carper.
Yeah.
Then we started getting more people involved, and we decided to call them Hoosier Carpers because they were coming from all over the state. And then we started out, and then I started doing boat shows, and I did 17 years every year with a booth. And I built the Hoosier Carpers up to 190 active members.
Shoot, dog.
And it was the largest state in the club, a carp anglers group at the time.
Yeah.
The largest fishing club in Indiana, even over the Bass and the Captain's clubs. It was larger than them for a period of 3 years.
Yeah.
So we went a long way real quick.
Yeah.
In about, well, not real quick. A good 15 years probably it took to get that number. But, every year, the first 2 years was like 30 every time, We got up to about 60 members. And then it just word of mouth just kept coming in.
Kept on coming.
It was an exciting time. And I did a lot of talking.
Yeah, you did. You was the talker, man.
I loved it too. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I knew you did. And you was right there. You was the spokesperson for the Who's Your Car person.
Yes, I was, and then I even did a little bit for the Peace Fighter Club.
Yeah,
too.
you joined our team right at the beginning.
Do you think growing the sport has any effect on any negative effect on it at all?
Well, no, it hasn't. Most people are really excited about the gear, and when they find out that for carp, that slowly has come around, and now we get a lot of people that are looking at carp as more of a sport fish, and not something you would eat. And that's what we had to get out of people's minds. They're not a tasty fish. They're not.
No.
And not unless you want to soak them for a long time and do all that other crazy stuff.
Right.
So, people, when they realize that how fun they are, then it's starting to wave a little bit. I don't get laughed at on the bank anymore. People walk up and say, "What's this gear?" I say, for giant carp. And I've heard about this. Before it was like, what? What are you fishing for those nasty fish? So it changed in that way, very positive here to modern day.
Yeah.
37 years I've been fishing with carp and carp only.
Wow.
Kenneth Meyer says he still has his He's Your Carper's
I'll
hat.
tell you right now, it's like night and day on how the people look at me when I tell them I'm a carp fisherman.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Compared to how they used to look at you compared to how they do it now.
Yeah, they look at me with a crooked eye like, what? And then now it's like the eyes light up. Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah.
And they want to know more. What I catch them on, what I do with them, take pictures, and release them, and they're just flabbergasted. They can catch the size right there in their backyard.
That's what
Back in Waterville Canal, people had no idea.
Oh, they still don't.
Like that canal.
They still don't. When you hook into one, you'll have people driving down the road honk at you and like, that came from there. And which it actually, they put water back in it. Finally, they got it filled back up. They're done working on it.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I passed it over the weekend. I checked out the Cutler Bridge. I seen one bluegill. That was it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to fish it for a few years.
Well, that's what I figured. It'd take a little bit to pick up.
Back up. But all those fish were released to White River.
Yep, right there, probably on the other side of the dam, on top of the dam there.
Yeah. So
What's your biggest canal fish?
That's good, because that's bigger waters.
Yep, but that's where they all came from originally, anyways.
What's your biggest canal fish, Gil?
My biggest what?
Canal fish? Carp?
Channel fish? Or catfish?
Canal fish
Canal.
out of the canal,
Out
the
the
Broad
canal.
Ripple Canal.
Oh, and the canal is 29.8.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I never got to 30 there. I tried, but this was back probably about 9 years ago. I got that 29.8 and one fish of the year for the DNR.
Yeah,
I turned that in and won a damn thing.
they said they took 13 different species out of there, including 6 invasive goldfish. I think the goldfish is the only thing they didn't re-release back in the White River. So I got the
Was that
feeling.
right?
Yeah, they said there was 13 different
How big is
species.
that goldfish, you think?
They didn't say how big the gold. They didn't say how big none of the fish was, but there's over 700 fish they removed down that little stretch of canal and relocated into the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious
Well,
what all
that's-
13 species it was. Because
Yeah.
I've heard of eels even being caught out of the canal, freshwater eels.
Lamprey, there too.
I've never,
I've never
seen
seen
them.
one.
I haven't seen one either, but the guy, one of those Citizens Energy guys that works there, he was telling me that they, back in the day, I think it was not long after it was, the progress on it had stopped and they started getting fish in it, that somebody caught an eel and it made it to the Broad Ripple Gazette or the newspaper.
Wow. Wow.
That, and I actually seen a picture of it I shared in our fishing chat group. Right there past College, it used to be a parking lot over it. There was a parking lot over the canal all the way from College down through Broad Ripple, all the way there to Westfield.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I never even knew that. I seen a picture on one of the old Indiana sites, and I thought, that's pretty cool. So I bet there's all kinds of fish up under
They
there.
think those freshwater eels are good to use.
For catfish. Or I don't know about that. I know they're good bait for catfish. I see a lot of guys using them here lately.
With eels?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, using them for cat bait.
Yep, chopping them up, using
They
them.
use carp for cat bait too.
Yeah. I honestly,
They use carp. They
do.
when I was in
use carp for a
Illinois,
lot of different things.
I honestly think that flathead I caught was trying to eat one of the little carps I had feeding, because I was catching little 2-3 pound carp, and that catfish could have easily ate one of them carps.
Yeah.
And I think, because at first I was getting little beeps, it'd like beep, beep, it go up, down, and then it doot, 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 doot. And then it did that for a little bit, then it just, whoa, I mean, it took off. I seen steam
Do it
coming
again.
off my reel.
Do it again. Like that.
I like it when my reels do that too.
Sonny,
Yeah.
do that again.
That was Ricky.
That was Rick.
That was
Yeah,
me.
there you go.
That's the way I like my alarms to be.
Indy car going by.
That'd be cool.
I think that catfish
you,
was actually trying to eat the little
Are you
carp.
still sponsored by World Classic Bait?
Oh yes, Magdalena and Ernie have been one of my backers for a long time, and I appreciate everything they do for me.
Yeah. They're good
I
people.
try to get the word out as much as I can.
Right.
I'll do it when right now the carp candy is really a hot flavor. If you guys ever get a chance
Yeah,
to purchase some, I tested it last spring, and all those fish there at Fall Creek up north on Dyke, I caught them all, and we're back to back. And
Are they boilies?
It's a flavor.
Huh?
It's a flavor.
Oh, flavor. Okay.
I'm sure they got boilies, corn, and everything in it.
Is carp candy is a flavor?
Without giving away all the secrets, what does it kind of resemble as far as smell?
They say it smells like, what do you call about those Smarties?
Oh, the little, I know what you're talking
I
about.
know what you're talking about too. Comes.
I've heard that many times, and it smells like
Sweet or
Smarties,
chewy.
but they didn't smell, I cannot pinpoint, but it's like, I almost can say what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's a few of them
I
like
don't
that.
even know it, and so, but there's another smell there that makes it attractive, I think.
That's the
But then
candy
there's,
part.
Can't quite see it.
there's a coffee one out too that just came out that's done pretty well, and Rick likes it.
How about now?
So there's two new ones, two new flavors.
Okay.
But yeah, World Classic Baits is the ground bait and the boosters and the sprays, the needle sprays are where I use the most of.
Have they updated the picture on the front yet with your 40?
Why would they?
Because it's a
I don't
40.
think they ever do that. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I got the 40, been over the 40.
That's what I said. Have they updated your picture on the WCB bags?
The panko.
Oh yeah, they have.
Put your 40 on there. Although the fish you was
Yeah.
holding on that bag was a beautiful fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty nice.
I'll tell you what, that 40 had that double belly
The
on
double
it.
bubble?
It just made it
Double
just
bubble.
a tremendous fish.
I'll get one day.
You got to see it. Well, that was a beautiful fish.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah, I'll hit a 40 one day.
One day.
One
You all will. I never thought I would. And that was, I had tears when I hit it. And
I bet.
you know, the thing is when you cherish something so much, it will happen for you. All you got to put the time in to do it.
Was I there? I was there. Wasn't
I know.
That's what he just
Yeah.
said.
I? Yeah, I was there.
When I was there, I'd cry like a baby.
Yeah, you did. Like, see,
I did. I tell you what, tears and all, I didn't feel good.
I remember that. That was.
Well, you've been chasing, you've been chasing that for
A
so
lot
long.
of time and a lot of work went into it.
You know, it didn't really, the 40 didn't really, I wasn't chasing the 40 until probably about 10 years ago. Because when I started getting about 35, 36, 30s, I got 39 30s right now on the board. And to have that many, I kept saying, man, why can't I get a 40? So then that became a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really, one time I thought I had it and found out it was a weight problem. And Josh McIntosh said, Gilbert, you forgot to strike your late sling.
No.
Oh, that's right. And I was about ready to ball. I thought I had it then, but
Jacob
that was
McIntosh.
3 hours before I caught the 42, 41 too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was,
That was
yeah.
wild.
Actually, we got that all on video too.
Yes.
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 Whenever team fish.
And then we had another 40 pounder that on that trip too.
Yeah.
You know, Sean, or not Sean, but
Shannon.
yeah, Shannon.
Shannon
got that. He
Pearson.
caught that thing all
Matter of fact, he's,
He was watching.
He's watching us
He
right
said,
now.
hey.
He should be.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still watching, but he was.
Yeah.
He said to tell you, hey, Gilbert, earlier.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
And he said size matters.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
We had to calm him down one time, didn't we, James?
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
were talking about that personality thing, you know, on the bank. Yeah, he's Sean, I think he's a great guy. He
Oh, yeah,
really
he's a
is.
good guy.
He was there when we was there.
Yeah, he was.
He was there when we was there.
Very, very humble, very quiet guy, really.
Very quiet.
Kevin Tharp was there.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
he
what you guys are planning? I thought, hey James, you said something years ago that your apartment might sponsor a tournament there
The what? I'm sorry.
at West Side.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we had the. What, you talking about the logo?
Yeah, you said no. When they first bought the apartments out
Okay.
where you live,
Yeah.
and you said they were going to have some tournaments, so they decided not to do that.
Oh no, I'm giving that up. No, I got. I would love. I would, maybe one day, but
It'd be fun to do again.
yeah, but just between the video shoots that we tried to get together once a month, and then we got the White River Invitationals and the fall.
We should do one.
Yeah, I would love it. But, I had the handle on that.
Oh.
But I knew what.
You got between man. There's some serious drug out competitions between a lot of you anglers. Especially when we got to
How would you feel?
The
last one, the
shootout.
shootout. Yeah, 6 anglers took it.
do 20 teams. Seriously.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Hey, do 20 teams. Have
20 teams.
Yep, sign up and if it's a if
We have a
it-
team tournament.
if it's a
Do it.
if it's a $50 tournament, if it's a $50 tournament,
But that
you gotta have a $40 deposit. That way, you know what I'm saying. If you don't show up and you flake, your money still goes in the pot, and then you can pay your other 10.
Where do I pay at?
And then pay your other 10. James is like, oh man, the weighmaster.
Party at James's house.
Yeah, party.
there was some. I mean, we
had some pretty good tournaments
we had some pretty good team tournaments. Even the
But
even the shootout was great.
all these badass carp fishermen out here, I don't care what nobody says.
That'll humble you real quick.
That place will humble you.
Yeah. I
You know what I
It
mean?
will. It
So
will.
White River
I
downtown.
thought 420 to one of the times.
No, you got the biggest one out of that lake one time, and that 26 pounder.
Yep.
And
Because it was a beautiful fish too.
yeah,
We should do that.
but we had some heavy hitters. The ones I remember the most between you and Justin Keaton. Thank you.
Yeah.
I watched Justin Keaton on the side of the. He's like so close. You see him pacing back and forth.
Oh, I know. I know. And then when that one fish got away from us on the bank and got back in the water and I grabbed it, he said I couldn't count it. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, man. He said I couldn't count that fish except it was in the net on the bank and flopped out. And I grabbed it up before it hit the water. And he said, "You can't count that. That fish was released." He got ruled out real quick.
Yeah.
So James come up and said, "What?"
Yeah, we didn't. That wasn't a stated rule. We wanted a rule. So.
But you know, the thing is though, you know, that's passion.
Yeah.
You know, that young fella's got so much passion
Yeah, he
that
does.
sometimes he does things that's a little silly, but man, I don't blame him one bit, really.
No,
You know, Justin Keaton he's just loaded with passion.
he is. He is.
Yeah, he is.
I
Man, he really
I
is.
will give him that.
I mean, he's got some stats. He's got some hardware too. You know.
He's good too.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. You know?
He's a good angler,
But-
but you better not ever put him down, or he'll smoke your ass.
That was
The one thing he always preaches is keep it simple. Keep it simple.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, man, you got seen him smoke me with oats before. I'm sitting with all this fancy bait, and oats and something else in it, and
With just a hook with some corn
looking
on
over at me, and I'm thinking, I don't know.
Beat that.
So,
Hey,
you know, he think my butt's too fine, but I've gotten even. That was fun though.
Kenny
Yeah.
Myers said people will come, especially if James talks about his medallion.
Oh yeah, that's. Let me tell you about my medallion.
He's definitely gonna talk about it. So
Now, I mean, I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna talk about it in the
medallion
group with the guys, man. I mean, more than likely, if it's gonna be hosted, you're probably looking at the host right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10.
Oh yeah. James does a good show though.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we had to do it as.
Well, you know,
we
I
had to
learned
do it
off
as a
the
team.
I learned off the best, Jim Donlin.
Oh yeah.
That's
That man can run a good
man.
He definitely was the best.
I cannot. I mean, he's the king to me.
Oh, me too.
The way he run a show and presented and I watched him over the years and I'm like, man, that's it. I remember back in the day when what was that one camera guy? You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, John Tindrum.
Yes. Carp. What? No.
Who's your angler?
Who's your angler? Thank you. And I watched your guys' videos on the White River a lot of times, and I'm like, and this is before I even started Team Fish Fires, and then it was like, I was just so into it. It was like kind of like watching a bass tournament, you know, back in the day, but it's all about carp fishing. Well, you got what? You guys go to your room. Go to your room. That's what.
I tell you what, those tournaments, the Hoosier tournament trail, man, that was so much fun.
I wish we still had something like that here, or good places to do it.
Oh my God, the big picks off at the end, that was a wonderful program.
Yeah,
I tell you what, it was just wonderful. I mean, you know, I won one of those, and I tell you what, I won the invitational once.
Yeah.
And, you know, having a full crew, I mean, it was maxed out. I remember the tournament that I won had a maxed crowd. And I forget how many anglers there was. Do you remember how many there was, James?
It was over 76 because it's.
I was the only one there when I won it.
Yeah. So, you know, the payout was big, and, you know, the reward was big. But I tell you what, I don't know if I can go through that at my age, man. That anticipation, that last
hill
hour.
gets you.
Man, that's about the most craziest thing. And Jamal's dad was right on my tail
Oh, the Bosnians,
By
man,
ounces.
group.
by ounces.
They
And I just had
always
to
came
win.
from Kentucky just to come to one of the Jim's tournament trails, you know, or
Right.
or the White River Invitationals.
He recently passed away, bless his soul, but
Yeah.
I tell you what,
He did.
he was a wonderful angler.
Yeah. He was the whole family is a bunch of good anglers.
Oh, tell me about it.
You know.
You can't take the ball anywhere, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to do catching.
I tried to get him on the show this matter of fact this week, and he texted me. He goes, he says, James, I'm kind of shy. That's how he said it. I'm like, yeah, right. It's like,
Wait, on the phone he would be. On the phone he can get really carried away, but
Yeah.
I think when he's thinking people are listening, I think he would be pretty tough to interview.
yeah. But
I don't know. He might get his passion going. He's got big passion
he
there.
does got some passion. He does. But
Top
man,
tier too. Best tier on the market.
yeah.
Are you gonna fish the White River Invitationals?
Yes, the invitation.
Next one is coming up.
June 1st.
Are you gonna fish the invitation?
No, we ain't.
Gilbert?
He usually always
Gave it
makes an
up.
appearance.
The hill.
That hill is just a little too much for me.
Yeah, that hill's too much for him.
You know they got some stairs.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can carry my gear up and down. That'd be one thing, but who's going to carry me? You know.
Hey, trust me, we'll get you if you want to fish. Yeah, we'll get you down there.
We'll get you some racing seat belts for your scooter.
We'll get you.
That's a little too much of an angle on it.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's enough of us that we would pick you up very comfortably and make sure you got-
But you know, sometimes-
You know, here's the thing. Here's what I said. You know, when it comes to my disabilities now, is that, yeah, I can have people help me chum, spawn, you know, and even cast for me, help me carry gear, back and forth stuff. But when I cannot reel in the fish, it's time to go get me a remote control airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah, even I mean, you got the hill, but even once you start catching the carp, you also got that little bit of cliff right there at the edge of the river. You know.
I know it wears me out just filming it and weighing the fish every year.
Well, I'm not going to have anybody saying I can do any pixels, anything like that. No. You know, if I'm going to pick a tournament, it's going to be just like anyone else drawing.
Right.
You know, and then I just don't want to put. I'm not able, guys. I just can't do it. You wouldn't believe I can't even walk to the car and back without being out of breath.
Right.
So. It's a walking thing, and my back won't allow me to do it anymore. I'm 100% covered now, also with VA,
Right.
and so that just recently happened. So that's been a good thing, you know, really financially, and so it's been really good, and I'm going to play it out, you know, best I can.
When's the last time you talked to Jim Donlin?
Oh, I see. I went in the gym, me and Rick did, and he was pretty busy, really pretty quick, and bought some cup rods outdoors. And so, but been a while, something up?
Huh?
He said it's been a while. Why something up?
No, no. I was just curious when was the last time.
Oh, well, you know, Rick was working for him building decks for a while.
I heard.
And so I got to see him a couple times and talk to him, but he was so business, you know, he's the same way about his business building decks he was about the bait shop.
Yeah, yeah.
He's go, man. He's on the move.
Yeah, definitely miss West Side for sure.
Yeah, I do too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I pass by there after work every day, and I was like, man, one day I'm passing by here and it's not going to be there.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna make a restaurant out of that place.
Well, that wouldn't be too bad. I can sit in there and look at the walls and think, I remember these walls.
Yeah. Well, there's an open roof restaurant.
So they'll tear down that building and build a new one.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Both like, that's awful. That basement, I don't know about that basement.
Man, I tell you,
Had a lot of good times in that basement.
Yes.
Boy.
that basement down to that bait shop, man. There was some gold down there.
We called that the green room.
Man.
Green, everything was green on the walls, yeah.
So was the roaches that was crawling around.
But, no, they're
Mine, I tell you what, ground bait was horrible trying to keep it fresh there.
yeah.
I was selling my ground bait and I was having to replace 5 bags a week
Oh, did
for
you?
mites.
Yeah, yeah. He had a little bit of mouse problem.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, though, I just mixed those bags together and there's that protein to it now.
Yeah.
Protein, actually, hot blend.
That's what I think about the weevils.
The weevils.
I do too. I use them.
Yeah,
all the
but I
time.
just, if they're alive, they're call out. And if they're
Protein.
dead, it's protein.
If they're moving, it's
Because there's
attractive.
nothing that you could do, man. There's
No,
only one.
there isn't.
I did look up a video on the best way to kill them is dry ice.
Yeah, that'd just be more money on top of it.
Because dry ice, if
Get
you,
all the oxygen out. Get them
Yep.
to something with no oxygen, and it'll
Yep.
kill them all.
Now I'm fighting
Hey,
mice.
before you go, I got a tip for everybody, for the young carpenters.
Yeah.
In the springtime, salt, sodium, is a big deal. It really is. Carp crave sodium, and during winter months when the plants die, they lack big time.
And they
So
need
in
carbohydrates in the winter.
Yes, and so
That's why bread's
when
really
they
good.
come in the spring and the plants start developing, they start eating those roots and stuff, and they get the sodium. They go into a craving mode, and that's when you start adding the sea salt or kosher salt. Do not use iodine salt, please. That's poisonous to the carp.
Right.
The iodine will hurt the carp in a long-term fashion, so don't use it. Sea salt, kosher salt, those real high grades, grind them up if you have to. I found an avenue of fine sea salt, and it clings to the powder instead of end up in the bottom of the bucket, after a while.
It's also a preservative too.
Now is that for now? Because I know you started out pay laking, so would you give the same advice for a pay laker?
Well, yes and no, because there's so much bait in the water, and I don't know what they're throwing. Salt might be overused there.
Or they don't have a lot of natural growth in there.
I definitely would add salt, some measurement of salt. But it probably wouldn't be as heavy as I was in the wild.
Yeah.
Maybe just a dash, for just a little sodium in it.
Make it stick out a little bit maybe from everything else.
Yeah, all the bait is thrown, even during the wintertime, it still has some salt in it. So they're getting their salt during the wintertime. People that are fishing when it's ice outs and stuff. And I know that a lot of places, they're still throwing bait and stuff. So, yeah, they'll still get the salt.
Do you
In the wild, though, it's a little different.
do you use
Different in the wild.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you use PVA bags?
Yes, I do. I love PVA bags, and Marshall taught me how to put one together with a hook bait. And
Okay.
boy, I tell you what, sometimes that PVA bag will draw them.
Yeah.
And I'm just using natural stuff, some pellets and stuff like that, and some sweet pea, nothing big. And man, I tell you what, I've had some good success, and Marshall swears by it.
Yeah.
And he brings in the fish. That young fellow's a good angler there.
Yeah,
Him, the two guys that I thought was rising stars, which they have, that's Marshall Burba and your friend Ricky Massey is sitting next to you.
Who?
In my book, for the two rising stars in the last 3 years.
That means a lot coming from you, Gilbert.
Yeah.
It means a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean that too, Ricky. You're a producer everywhere you go. And the same thing with Marshall. Wherever
right.
Marshall goes,
Time
he
though
produces.
too. It takes
a lot of
time,
practice. A lot of the successes in getting out. You can't be successful and not go. I mean, the more you go, the better your chances are.
For
I don't
sure.
tell you all the times I blank in between, but that's learning.
That's
I
it.
like challenges in new water. I like
Fishing ain't
finding
no
new
dip-
places.
Fishing ain't no different than gambling. You don't always see the losses, but you
Yeah.
definitely see the wins. You know what I mean?
Except I don't know, when I fish, there's no loss to me. I'm
Yeah,
fishing.
no, for
Even if
sure.
I blank, there's
Just
no
being
loss.
out there is
Yes.
just being on the bank is
Yeah,
peaceful.
that's my
That's the whole
therapy.
reason of going. The catching the fish is the bonus.
Ricky's
Yes.
all right.
I got a little cliche for you guys. If you want to be known as a big carp hunter,
Don't post the
take
little ones.
pictures of little fish.
He's always said that ever since I met
Yeah, if you
him.
want to be known as a big carp hunter, don't post a
Little
little.
Next time
fish.
you get to be known as a big carp hunter,
Yeah.
don't take that. Anything under 20, don't
Don't
post.
post it.
You know, when you say that, you know who that reminds
Sometimes
me
you gotta
of?
post something just to let people know you're alive.
You know who that reminds me of when you say something like
You'll
that about
get,
big carp
you'll get
hunter?
numbers out of it, but you won't get no weights.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who's
5 days, well over 20.
what carp angler would love that you haven't met yet, or you have heard of, and you would love to share the bank with?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Because there are a few of them.
Yeah.
Sean Manning, I've never fished with.
Mhm.
He's one of the original carp what ones?
And I didn't know he was a guitarist for Quiet
Yeah.
Riot. I didn't know that
Yeah.
till Rick told me.
Yeah, Sean Manning. He was one heck of
Oh,
an
Sean
angler.
Manning, yeah.
And he still fishes. He just
Mhm.
keeps to himself.
Yeah.
And the other fellow that passed away.
Okay.
And I wish I had more time to read, and that was Mr. Walters, Frank Walters,
Frank
president
Walters.
of the Keg after David Moore left.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a hell of an angler, and so was his wife, the one that went to every state and
Yeah.
caught a carp.
Yeah. Every state, yeah.
Every state in the United States, he went
her
to
and her
Carp Talk.
husband did
In
that?
Alaska, he went to the local
And bought one.
beach store and bought a koi,
And
put it in a pond,
And
let
caught
it sit, and there for 3 days, and he caught it. And
He had to
caught it and turned it
get
back.
approval from the DNR just to do that.
Yes, he did. He had to have approval because there's no carp. No carp in their waters up in
Well,
Alaska. They can't survive.
Yeah.
And so
there's very
and
few
they
in Florida, if you ask.
They didn't want it in that water. Then they had to take it back out, and he sold it to someone as a trophy fish. And so that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely an experience.
Yeah.
I probably got 9 of the
money.
50 states, 9 or 10 of the 50 states under my belt. I couldn't imagine all the other 50.
Yeah,
All the other
it was
40.
definitely was a husband and wife team.
That would be.
I never had a chance to fish with him, even though I served under him, but never did have a chance to fish with him. And he was one heck of an angler.
That's awesome. There we go.
David Moore, I got to fish with. He's my mentor. And a little story about David Moore. If you're listening, bud, don't take this offensively. We were fishing together at Lake Story in Illinois.
Yeah.
And we were side by side. And these fish were just tearing up these little bloodworms that was on the bank. And so I matched that with a little thing I had in a tackle box, a little Enterprise thing, bright red little thing. And I started catching these 15, 20-pound carp. And David's sitting there going, boy, he's just chumming. And I went over and I said, you want to try something? He goes, no, I'm targeting bigger fish. So now I use that every time I blank. I say, I was targeting bigger fish.
Is that
But that's been a cliche of mine is my name's David Moore, and I was targeting bigger fish. He really was. He was looking for the big ones and using boilies only. But in the meanwhile, I was over having a blast catching 20-pound fish.
Hey, in my experience, a lot of times when you get into the fish, you might have to put in a little more work, but that big one usually comes after them little ones. You get enough of them little ones come through, then you're going to get the big ones rolling after them little ones have moved on. Them big ones, for whatever reason, you think they would bully the little ones out of the way, but they seem to let the littler ones eat first. And then the big ones, they get a little more confident, and it seems like they come in my experience, and clean up after the little ones move out.
You got that figured out, because I agree with you there, Ricky. I do.
That comes from
That's
days of
why-
standing over the
that's
canal
why-
watching them feed.
Yeah.
Your opinions and your strategies and what you're thinking is right up the line of being a great fisherman, Ricky. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, watercraft is a big part of the sport. A lot of people overlook it. A lot of people show up and want to set their chair out and, hey, are they doing this flavor? Are they doing that color? I mean, you got to pay attention to every time you go. You got to pay attention to the weather, pay attention to the barometric pressure. I mean, just pay attention to all the details. What time of year it is, what you was fishing with, what colors you was using, was it popped up, was it on the bottom? I mean, there's so many factors. It's almost worth having some type of logbook to enter all this in. That's what I love social media about and a lot of times that's why I post pictures and different things, even if it ain't a big fish, just to kind of as a reference in the future. So when I start getting memories pop up on my phone, I'm like, okay, this is what I was doing this time of last year that worked, or this is what I was doing that didn't work, so maybe I'll try something different, or maybe try a different place. But yeah, there's a lot of factors into it.
You remember?
My first 5 years, I did the same thing. I had a book, and I wrote everything down, all, time, the pressure, the sunlight, the sunsets, the temperatures, where the winds come out of, what bait I was using, size of fish, and what swim at a swim. Where it's like to the left of the number one swim at so-and-so place. I would log all that. Then as I go back and get similar conditions, those things would work.
They do.
Again and again and again. So I learned real quick that patterns do work.
Yep. They change though, but they do.
Yeah.
They're pretty consistent, but
That's
they
why
change.
he's got so many of them.
That's like
the
you.
bass guy.
Yep.
He's got so many different patterns. He's got to try, so he hooks that one, and then he goes to all of them like that.
That's what they say. That's why they call it fishing and not catching.
Yeah. Gilbert, you
You start
remember?
out with different baits on every rod, and pretty soon all the rods got the same bait.
In the same hole.
Yeah, you remember that back in the day when Jim had that website for the Hoosier Carpers, Carp Talk?
Yep.
And told a lot of especially a lot of Hoosier carpers, they actually posted a lot of their, the bait they used, what kind of baits, certain baits. Hey, this worked on this time of the year. I mean, it was basically a big old logbook, and
Right. I posted a bunch of myself.
yeah, and
That was back in the days.
yeah, it was a shame that they
I
actually
wasn't
got
online back then, but I remember seeing some of
AOL,
it. Yeah.
MySpace.
yeah, MySpace. I mean, it's a shame that that website got taken down.
That thing had to be maintained, and someone had to maintain it when Jimmy Golf Central. If it didn't get maintained, so it was gone.
And that's what we got the Hoosier Carper site that we try to get stuff like that on.
Facebook.
Try to promote stuff, but I usually just end up posting memes.
Yeah.
But you're gonna find out that a lot of people will post recipes that don't work.
Yeah.
And it's all, like I said, what you have confidence in. That person, it might really work for that
It might
person.
work for them, but
because
not
they're
work for
throwing
you.
it out there with confidence. They're knowing how to use it. They know what to do with that bait. And then other people might fish a whole different style. That bait might not fit into their confidence. And that's why I said you can't knock anybody for what they use.
My tournament baits. Never.
Never. Yeah, that's why I said
Never posted my tournament recipes. I always had tournament recipes, but I would always. Tournament recipes usually had extra stuff I couldn't afford.
Right.
So, every day, because as much as I was fishing, I couldn't make that tournament bait every time. So I had a fishing bait that was very reliable, which I still use today, but always had a tournament bait, which had something a little different added or whatever it might be. And now that became my Dale Holloway.
That's
Dale Holloway bait.
That's the way I feel when I plan a trip. I usually have my tiger. And like you said, the stuff I wouldn't normally throw in the waters here. Here I'm going with field corn or range cubes or something cheap and easy.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think we have the fish worthy of spending that much money on the target. Versus if I did go to Del Hollow or Michigan or somewhere of that nature, I might throw a little more high dollar bait out there.
Yeah, exactly. The farther you drive, the more you want to catch, of course.
Yep.
So you always throw better baits and you got them.
Yeah.
But you always have your old reliable that always catches fish.
Yep, keep it simple.
But that little edge sometimes really pays off, and it's the confidence again.
Mm-hmm.
I added this, I forget them. Well, right there you got to have the whip, having the confidence.
Yep. And that's what I got. You was talking about Marshall earlier. As far as rigs go, he's taught me about everything I know about rigs and the mechanics of them and what it takes to have a functioning rig to give me confidence. And I'll cast out there and let it sit 6, 7, 8 hours or however long and still feel, as long as there ain't nothing drifting or current,
Yeah.
I still feel my rig's sitting perfect and I
it's
know
still
that it's
there.
presented and I don't think it's tangled up. I don't think it's laying on top of itself. And that's part of it. If you don't think your bait's sitting out there right, more likely you're gonna reel it in before you get a chance for a fish to find it.
So that's what.
Right.
That's what happened. Yeah. So,
You 100% right there, Ricky. 100%.
what is your pet peeves that you can't stand the most when you go carp fishing?
People bragging about their medallions.
Well, I don't really have any pet peeves today, but there was some a lot when I was coming through the ranks.
Yeah.
But as an older gentleman now, you can't really get my goat too much anymore.
Right.
The bass fishermen bug me a lot, but that's about it. But when it comes to anglers on the bank, if you're going to come over and brag, you might as well go on down the road, because I don't want to listen to that. Now, if you got questions or you want to talk about some experiences or what you've had, I'll listen and add. But I don't listen to bragging, because I don't brag.
Yeah.
You'll never hear me brag. It comes in, 50% of it's luck, guys. I hate to say this. 50% is skill, and then you got your skill and your bait, and the luck is a big thing about it.
Yeah.
And the size is where the luck really comes in.
Yeah.
Because you got a small carp looking at your bait, you got a big carp. Luck is what's going to get your big carp.
No, targeting them. That's what gets your big carp. You got to target the big
you're
carp.
okay. You hold your mouth or say, go away, little carp, or whatever. But
Yeah, you got to target those big
it's
carps.
all
That's-
luck on side. On side, it's all luck. because they travel together. Believe it or not, they'll be in front of them or behind them. So if they come in and dart in and grab a bait when he's about ready to get it, you got an 8-pounder instead of a 30.
I've stalked in spots before where I baited and I've watched the fish, and I get so excited. I'm like, man, the big one I'm after, I'm like, he's so close to my hook bait, and then a little 8-pounder will come push him out of the way and suck it right up. I'm like, oh man.
I know, it's happened so many times. So, when you think about the angling of what it takes to catch fish, you've got to remember a lot of it is luck. But the skill is the bait, making the bait, and then your skill on bringing the fish in. You don't have those two, you might as well just not go at all, because it doesn't matter if you got luck or not, you're not going to bring the fish in.
Right.
So skill is where the bait and your angling is, and then the rest of it's all luck.
Gotcha.
See, that's how you got your medallion,
That's how I
James.
got my medallion. So
That luck part.
what do you like to put on your hair rig the most? Do you like the boilies, the corn? You ever use maggots?
I'll tell you what I've been doing here lately, and it seems like I have been getting into the bigger fish,
Yeah.
and that's is I boil horse corn that you buy at Tractor Supply. Don't buy the field corn it's into the silos, because that's got every bit of moisture pulled out of that corn, and it doesn't blow up and pop like a deer corn does. You've seen these big corns look like hominy that's split in the middle and pop?
Yeah.
Well, you use deer corn, and every one of them's like that.
Okay.
When you cook it right. So it don't take long. You let it soak for a day, cook it for an hour, let it sit for 2 hours, and you open up the top, bam, there they are, all popped open.
You said horse
And then
corn?
that's when I'll add my flavors when they're cooking that water in.
And you said horse corn?
Pardon me?
Did you say horse corn?
Horse corn, deer corn.
Oh, deer corn. Okay.
Yeah, deer
I thought you said
corn or horse corn if you can find it, but deer corn is the favorite because it's not put through the silos. And even when you put your hands in, you can feel the difference between that and the field corn that's in a bag that you buy at the feed store.
Yeah, because it has all the chunks of the cob and everything in it. When you buy the actual deer corn, it's more actual solid kernels that ain't. It looks like it's has more quality control on it, like it's better kernel.
Yeah, it's got more moisture inside.
I know I've had a lot of luck with the apple flavor one, the deer corn. I've gotten it before, and it's worked wonders.
But I've never really tried any other flavors. I usually like to make my own corn.
Yeah, no, it comes apple flavor, and I'm like, hey, what the heck? And it was what they had, and I tried it, and it has a little red tint to it, and it's not red, but like the little veins in it, you can see like red streaks in it. But
I like that kind of corn too.
And do you ever try any of the other deer attractants, like the minerals or the licks or anything like that, like the molasses?
I have, and with no big noticeable effect. I did back in the Taylor 4 days when I used to go down there every year. I would catch a lot with different things, with cubes and different stuff, minerals that you add.
Putting that molasses over the cubes.
I tried them all. Spent a lot of money, but end up dropping them. Something you can go to if you think you need it.
Have you ever played around with millie bombs?
What?
Millie bomb.
Millie bombs.
Oh yeah, sure. I draw them up. I grind them. I took probably about half of a 5-gallon bucket of ground up field corn.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to do it.
It does.
But I ground it all. I add that to my pack bait.
Yeah.
See, that's what
And
Rick.
I also do balls of it with a spawn.
That's like cream corn.
Yeah.
And Rick gave me hell for using cream corn in
I use
Texas.
regular corn just to pack it. And yeah, it's almost like cream corn, but it's no cream. But you pack it really tight, and I use a whacker blaster, and then also a spawn.
Whacker blaster. Oh, jeez. They still doing whacker blasters anymore?
Yeah.
No, but I had about 4 of them that I've been using over the years.
They got a product out. I think one of the big tackle companies makes one, and they still call it. I'm pretty sure that it's either the ball blaster or the whacker blaster. But
Yeah,
they still actually make them.
The guy over in Chicago, in Ohio, Richie.
Eldridge.
Richie Eldridge, he makes a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. It's a big one. He can throw that stuff out there. But
I've
the
seen
original whacker blaster only
use
did
it.
dough balls, really big, nice method balls, and was made out of a little funnel.
Yeah.
I had a machine, and Bogdan bought the rights, and he destroyed it because he didn't want nobody else to be making it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
He bought my last two of them, and said, "You're not gonna make no more, right?" I said, "No." He said, "Good. That's what I want."
Yeah, there's a big tackle company that still makes them now. I forget the name of it. I want to say it's Nash, maybe. I think they call it a ball blaster. But it's that same concept. It's just a pouch.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, it's just the pouch that you clip your line off of, and when your line stops, the ball keeps going.
Yeah, but these new slingshots, these old 10-foot tall
That they make over in
slingshots.
the UK, that they're mounted in the
Man.
ground, that you got to pull
What?
down with both your hands.
Man, I'm telling you,
I
man.
haven't seen that yet.
Richie and them was using it, and
Slinging
Attila
them
was
boilies
next
out.
to us. Hey, look, boilies, they had one that I don't know if it was like a certain thing that they
It had
attached
a
to it.
different pattern when they were
Man,
doing
but
that.
hey, they was built like they built a straight line like this, straight like this is our peg line. So they built a straight wall right there, and then they built a like a L. So it was like they had it when they would shoot this one out there and land, it'd be like doom 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 doom, and then they would do the other one and they would land this way.
Mhm.
So they was building
That
L.
would
So
be cool.
when these fish come down the river, they're creating this pocket.
Okay.
Circles
To where
around.
these fish just want to come in a circle and just keep, they don't need to go no further. I mean, they're going to go further, but most they built
They
that
found
wall.
what they wanted.
Yeah, they found what they wanted, and I'm telling you, man, I sit there and watch them, and we hadn't even caught a fish yet. I'm being serious. We hadn't
I
even caught a
believe it.
fish yet, and they was in first place. Second place was on the left of us.
And
then
on
we-
both sides.
And then
Richie was a beast.
Yeah.
man, he was releasing 25-pound
He's a
fish like they
beast.
wasn't nothing.
Iceman. That's what I call him, Iceman.
Then we finally got on, man. I hit that 32 and some change, and that's when Zachary Peak hit that 36 and
Zachary
almost a
Peak.
37.
Wow.
Nice.
But we came back from like dead last to like
Yeah.
7th. You know what I mean?
That's good, especially all the people that was there.
Yeah, it was 50 teams. Some of the best around the
That's what I was
world.
about to say, some of the best in
Oh, yeah.
the country.
You better believe it.
Yeah, there's some good tournaments, man. There's a lot of good tournaments going on right now. New York's about to go on.
No. Not that I know of, not like I used to. The pandemic really slowed it down.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
It used to be really, there was always something every month, 2 or 3 of them. You could make it pick and choose which one you want to go to.
Well, you got the New York, you got the New Haven, West Virginia tournament going on right
It's
now.
going on right now. It's what, 3 days?
Yeah, it's like a three
Three or 4 days.
It's like 101 hours or something like that.
Is that Bay Lake or is that Wild?
No,
It's on the river
wild- it's
in
wild
West
water.
Virginia.
It's in West Virginia. It's a new. It's
New
a-
River Carp Talk.
Yeah.
Derek
Derek
Williams.
Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, he's hosting it.
He's hosting it.
Yeah, I think I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
nice guy.
at the chili meet, wasn't he?
No.
Yeah.
it's been a
Yeah,
while.
they were promoting that this year at the chili meet. They
Where
were
was
promoting
it?
the tournament.
The one
Yeah, they
before
were
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Derek Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there this year at the
I
chili
think,
meet.
I think I met somebody that was having a tournament in West Virginia.
That
There was a
it.
guy-
Well, there's
Kansas.
also that Kansas City.
Yeah, the Kansas City.
Oh, that
Carpers.
was Kansas City, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I
Yeah.
think they were both there, I thought.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think Derek
Okay.
was there.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why you guys blow
Okay,
me.
but
But we've been promoting it though
Probably
for
right.
Yeah,
we promoted it.
Yeah, we
ever
promoted it,
since,
but
before
no, it was
signups and everything.
Kansas City Carp Anglers with trying to promote their tournament.
Yeah, but
I think that starts in September, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry.
All that is so small fish, though.
Yeah.
All the pictures, I went through all those pictures, and every one of them was under 20. Every one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't feel like going that distance to get under 20 pounds.
Yeah,
But
You know, if you want to have a
but
tournament, you got to
they,
be bigger fish.
yeah, that's true. But they had some money behind it. So
Where
if
was
you're
this
just,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
Oh, the Kansas City one?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was almost like was it $500 per team?
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the
It was a
New
big
River
payout,
tournament right
huge
now it's
payout.
like $1,000 a team. I think. How much?
3 guys. I don't know.
I want to say they never said it about price, but I know the New York tournament. You know, it's like $1,200-$1,300 to enter that tournament.
Well, I tell you what, are you ever going to do another one, Tommy?
Yes, man, but it's just
Yeah.
no,
That's
no.
hard on 'em.
It is, man, but I've been to New York twice and fished that tournament, and then I went to the Connecticut tournament, and that's a whole different. That's a whole different.
The Tidal
adrenaline.
River.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different adrenaline rush, man. When you're fishing a tournament like that, and you gotta stay up, and
Sure.
you know what I mean, like.
Matter of fact, Paul's watching right now. He said, "What's up, guys?"
Yeah, what's
He's
going on,
fishing the
Paul?
tournament.
Yeah, he's
He's fishing
actually
the
down there
tournament,
fishing
yeah.
in West Virginia right now.
So
You know, the thing about that fishing those tournaments or that big dogs come and man, even myself, I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself, but even me, I feel intimidated by them.
Yeah, because you got.
They're so damn good.
Well, you got guys like I know for a fact in the New York tournament and the Connecticut, like you got people from like Hungary, like a lot of people from overseas come and fish these tournaments and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can say. I don't think I've ever been intimidated by another.
Yeah.
They're all dressed alike. They all got the same rod. They all got the same rod pods and fade. They look like twins. But I'll tell you what, they look awful good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're always on the stage at the end of the tournament.
Yep. You'll see them,
I mean,
man.
always.
Like, you're like I said, when you fish them tournaments, I don't care what nobody says. You're fishing against some of the best people in the world.
Yes, you are. Especially those are.
Like even
Especially
this
those
tournament,
money.
even though this tournament's only been going on for 2 years.
He
this
has
is
some
the-
heavy hitters.
Oh yeah, well you got the first year that there was some big fish caught. Like there was such big fish caught on one a certain peg. They took the peg off because it was
It was
no.
dominating.
Yeah, it was dominating. There's no competition.
Oh yeah. I got reservations about that. You know, you go all that way over and maybe get that bag and then they pull it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he pulled it before anybody.
He pulled
He
it.
pulled it way before
Because-
everybody knew.
It was known before you entered.
Yeah. And whoever
Okay.
gets it, they say, okay, that person's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, they just that
So-
that one peg I guess was so dominant. Kind of like the White River tournament. If you give somebody first pick, they're going to pick a bridge.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like if somebody got first pick or one of the locals or somebody didn't know any better, that's
Yeah.
the first spot, bam, and more likely they're going to win it if they get that spot.
Yeah, so that's the reason why they took that
Mhm.
But
peg
from
off.
what I've seen from the pictures and everything like
Looks
that,
beautiful
yeah, the
down there.
river looks beautiful.
Looks beautiful. Good scenery, hills in the background.
And you got to
mountains.
think they got people. There's some place.
It's almost kind of like
Looks
another
pretty urban.
hollow
Yeah.
look-alike.
Yeah, it looks very similar. Has
Looks
that-
like a
that
giant.
slide.
It looks like the canal.
Yeah.
About 10 times bigger as the
Don't
canal.
look like no White River though.
No.
It's nicer than a White River.
No.
I know I could take my carts and all of them seem like they have really nice little places to drive down to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they seem like they're nice, man. Look like-
Well, Gilbert, brother, we're coming to almost to the end of the hour, brother.
Sounds great, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
yeah, we
definitely.
appreciate you, Gil.
Yeah, I mean,
It's always good to
Oh, yeah,
hear
that's-
some knowledge.
this is like the third time you're on a show, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. I did it at the very beginning, and one other time, and from here. So it's the third time.
It's a growing.
He's our resident expert.
Yeah. So.
He's our go-to.
Well, I feel like when you get like a goat like you on to our show, it's gives a lot of the younger anglers more knowledge, and maybe just like a refreshing course. You know what I mean? And also maybe the
Gives you the
professional
effort.
carp anglers. And maybe, hey, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try to use that. Give them an idea.
And it gives you the opportunity to talk about what you love doing.
Heck yeah.
You
Talk.
got any shout-outs you want to give, Gil?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll shout out right now. I've got a bunch of alarms and bank sticks, and I will be carrying always an extra alarm and bank stick for any young carper
There you
that
go.
approaches me and asks me one question about carp fishing. They will get an alarm and a bank stick.
Well, there you go.
There
So
you
you guys
go, you
remember
guys
that?
hear
You
it.
guys see him out.
It's time to find Waldo. So you got to find
Gotta
I
find
know
Gilbert.
you get an alarm
yeah,
and a
you
bank
get
stick.
alarm.
Hey, and he said where he's going to be the first 2 weeks of May.
You know,
Well, I will.
hey, Gilbert,
I will give out hints.
you,
I know you guys where I'm gonna be real soon. So.
yeah.
You gave us everything we needed.
Yeah.
You
All the
remind me.
information
No excuses.
You remind me of something that happened to me during my teenage years. As a,
James, this is a PG
No,
show. This is a PG show.
no, you know, finding Gilbert. You know, and back in the day, in the '80s, they had this thing called the ticket scalper, and they didn't really have cell phones back then, but you know, people have a ticket scalper that worked for WZPL at the time, and he'll go to the nearest payphone. Hey, you find me. If you could find me such this is what I'm wearing and all that stuff. And
now it's kind of like a geocache where they
yeah.
It's,
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
they still
okay.
kind of do it. Like Rockstar Pizza in
Right.
town, they got a little pizza slice that's made out of rock that I think one of the kids decorated. And they hide it in Brownsburg.
Right.
And if you find it, like they'll give you hints on their
Oh, okay.
thing. And if you find it, you bring it in, they give you a free pizza.
What I was at
We need
Lafayette
to do that
Square.
with James Medallion.
Yeah,
He won't let it go that long.
I was at Lafayette Square at the time, and I was in Spencer's store, and I heard it on the radio above, and the ticket scalper was on there. And so first thing I did, I went to the nearest payphone, and then back in the day, I got like, if he says you can find him, and I did, you know, then I won like third row seats from Ozzy Osbourne concert at the
Oh
time.
shit!
It's like, so,
Man.
yeah, so I mean, and I told all my other friends that was with me, I said, go to that guy, go right there. And boom, he just hand out tickets. And I was like, that was just a memory. That's
Wow, that's pretty cool.
yeah, back in, for like 87, 88, I guess. Jeez.
Well, what I'll do probably since you got a big avenue on Space Fighters,
Yeah.
I'll probably let you, James, and you can post it. Got a little memo from Gilbert Huxley. He's at
Oh, there you go.
so for young angler.
All you gotta do is send that text over.
Arm and a bank trip.
Yeah,
I'll make sure it's a Saturday or Sunday, so that way they're not in school.
I do that. You just let me know. I was like,
I was gonna say, is this a trick? Is it gonna be Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
I got probably about 6 alarms too many. I need about 6 bank sticks. I got about a dozen already put together.
Cool.
But if anybody's got a few bank sticks they want to donate, that'd be great.
Yeah, anything to go to that cause. Anybody listening that wants to contribute, good cause.
A bank stick alarm to any young angler. That program I've been doing for years. I've been doing this, and I happened to buy a lot of those alarms that Jimmy had, and a few bank sticks, and I still have probably 6 or 7 bank sticks and alarms put together, ready to go. But I got another 6 or probably a dozen more alarms that doesn't have bank sticks. So, anybody who's got a couple extra hangers, it can be used. They don't care. Don't have to be brand new.
Right.
Any used bank sticks you're not using, please give Fish Fighters a call, and we really would love to have them.
yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
do that, for sure. But, all right, Gilbert,
Sounds
man.
great.
We love you, man.
Yeah, I
And,
love you, man.
Good talking to you.
Definitely.
We appreciate
Good luck to everybody, and Ricky, you take care, buddy.
All right, you too.
Nope, talk to you later.
Have a good evening and a good day tomorrow.
Okay, Tommy. James, goodbye, bud.
All right, good talking to you, Gil.
No, bro.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The goat. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's got a lot of this. He's
Oh.
got a lot of
37 years?
Yeah.
You think strictly carp fishing?
Yeah.
And
It's
said
all
the guy
good.
said first 5 years he wrote down everything, so you can
Yeah.
imagine what's in his brain. I mean,
Imagine what's in that first 5 years book.
I know. Yeah, that's the secret black book.
Well, you got to think he started out as a pay laker.
We could probably auction that off.
Probably so. He started, he was a pay laker and fished pay lakes for a
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
long time.
That's what I said.
And then he got curious, and he bumped into somebody that taught him new, and you know what I mean?
About every Indiana guy that's over the age of 30 that's carp fishing
Yeah,
probably
started as a pay
lake.
laker, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody
If
that's
I'm not
over,
mistaken,
that was there before social
I think
media.
that was Rick Slinker. Because Rick Slinker, he even paid Lake at the time.
Yeah,
And
they all
so,
did.
the
Mike
Carp-
Martini, Mike
Mhm.
Lemon, they all
The
did.
Carpenter, he
Everybody
did too.
started it.
And that
Everybody
was
started, 'cause
I did.
that's what was known around here. You know,
I
what
feel like
we should go there was Liam
Yeah.
when he was Indy Lakes.
yeah, I feel like that those 3 guys right there, Gilbert, Rick, Rick Slinker, and then you got the Carpentator,
Charlie.
and
Never, I
Napier.
don't think I ever met.
They were both pretty close together. And
Yeah, that's how
they were
they-
one of the founders of the Hoosier Carpers.
And the chili meat too, wasn't
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they started the chili meat in Charlie Napier's
it?
house.
And it was 17, 18 years? 18 years? Beat
Yeah.
this year coming up, 2025.
Yeah. James was like,
Man, from my age. Yeah, well, I mean, from their age, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's been around for a while. You know, we got some
Yeah.
history going on. We've got to keep that tradition going.
Somebody has
somebody
to.
has
try.
to.
Yeah.
We try,
So.
you know. But, you know, we couldn't do it without a lot of people that help out, though, too.
Couldn't do none of it without
You know
the
what I
people
mean?
that
All
help.
the flavor companies, you
Yeah.
know, all the people that drive from different states. and
Everybody that
come.
watches, everybody that subscribes.
Yeah. Speaking of, shout
Everybody
out
that
to all,
shares.
yep, shout out to all the bait shops, you
Yeah.
know, Naptown, Indy Bait and Tackle, Adams Outdoors, the Bobber Shop. Go check out the Bobber Shop. I just got it finished
Yeah, you
painted.
just-
Just
that's
finished
good.
painted it, man. It's complete. Just completed
Looks
it
good.
today.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good
Yeah.
compared to
like the
that.
color and all
Compared to that orange that it was.
He's on a mission. He's
Yeah.
got some stuff rolling.
Oh yeah, he's got another. He's got another bait shop too. Right out past.
I swear to God, I feel like he's going to be the next Jim Dolan. I'm saying this.
I've seen pictures. I haven't made it to the shop because
Oh,
he's on
shit.
the opposite side.
What,
But
the
I'm,
one McCordsville?
yeah, I'm gonna get down there.
It's-
But I've seen videos and stuff of it. It looks like he's using every inch of space he has. in
Oh,
there.
it's packed to the gills.
hmm
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I think it covers all varieties and has a good selection
Nah,
of
he
all
does.
varieties.
but he has a good. He has, you know, like obviously, like me work just being out there working. Like he gets a lot of business.
He's right there by
Like
guys.
and
Yeah.
he does, man. He gets a lot of bass and
Mhm.
bluegill and crappie and people coming in and buying night crawlers and then you get your, you know, then you also get your people out there too that's just coming in and buying crickets and stuff like that for
To
their
feed their
kids.
animals.
Yep, to feed their animals and stuff like that too.
He's got a vending machine outside.
Yep, he just, you know,
Only thing I seen with the vending machine is he had candy bars in with the worms.
yeah.
I was like,
hey,
you can separate
he just,
them two machines.
He's got bottle flavors in there too.
Hey,
Yeah, I thought that
he's
was
gone
cool.
right now, getting more
More what?
vending machines.
Vending machines.
Oh, yeah.
I seen that he was asking
Yeah.
for a trailer.
Yeah, he's out there getting
Imagine for his new
yeah.
location.
So he called me earlier and he was we was just talking. You know, I let him know that the shop was done and everything like that. And he was like, "All right, man." He's like, "I'll talk to you later," you know. And then he calls me back about 2.5 hours later, and he was like, and he's up in like, he's somewhere where it's still cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He said it's like less than 30 degrees. Like he didn't bring no warm clothes. He had to stop and grab some clothes and stuff. But he said he was this guy that he was picking something up from that he had bought. He said the dude that lives on a big lake or whatever, and they got talking about fishing, and dude was like, "You got about an hour?" Because they was talking about muskies. He was like, "I ain't never caught a muskie."
To fish the 10,000 casts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So he said, dude, asked him if he had about an hour. He was like, yeah. He said it took him 30 minutes, and he said he caught 2. Biggest one was 41 inches.
The state record here's 42 inches
Yeah.
in Indiana.
Yeah.
And I've
Wow.
seen some.
Well, this is I don't know where this was at. It was obviously, I think somewhere up north.
Yeah, they say when you cast them, like a lot of the bait shops up north, they have just musky sections. There's lures, I'm not playing.
Yeah,
they're
there's-
jigs and their soft plastics are this big.
Yeah.
And every cast, when you cast, they recommend you do a couple figure eights at the boat before you recast. You literally got to make one of them fish mad for them to eat your stuff.
Yeah.
And when we was fishing up north, some of the Airbnbs we got, if I knew there was muskie in the lake, you could look up and you see wouldn't no ducks land on the water. They would all be on the edge, but there wouldn't be no ducks on the water. And I've heard a couple of them things just explode right by the dock where we was, and it's definitely a fish on my hit list. I don't venture too far off a carp usually, but I would love to get a muskie.
It's like watching
Shout out.
Jaws. Yeah.
Bottom feeder baits.
Bottom feeder baits.
Shout out carpangler.com.
Carpenter.com.
Big Money Beepers.
Big money beepers.
Everybody else that supports. And I think I did see a comment earlier from Michael Thornburg.
Oh yeah.
Said something about
Some
a
beavers.
giveaway or something, maybe.
Oh,
What he said.
That's what he said. So we don't know. You know, we'll see.
He's a man of his word. It'll come through.
oh yeah.
Oh no, I know. I'm just giving the
No, I know.
the viewers. You know, we don't know when it'll be,
No.
but whenever it gets
Just keep
here, you know what I'm
watching.
saying. Just keep watching. I think we're gonna do if he does send a set,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do subscribers.
Okay.
We need you to grab your friends' phones, your mom's phone, everybody,
Kids'
kids' phone, and subscribe to our YouTube
Hey,
channel.
do
Once
it on your tablets. Create another email and do it on your tablet.
Yep, that too, and share away, and share. We appreciate everything, man. More than everybody knows.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
You know, it's all about just spreading some knowledge.
It is.
Talking about our passion that we all
Yeah.
share. No matter where you fish, we all have the same passion.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, whether you're a wild water guy or a pay laker, we all hate bow fishermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's bad in both groups.
Yeah.
There's bad in every walk of
Yeah,
life.
a lot of people, I just feel like carp anglers, we just need to stop
Focusing on the bad.
focusing on
Focus
each
more on
other
the-
like it's
yeah,
our
yeah.
fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So it's so that's like look at Gilbert. Like Gilbert being he started out being a
He's
pay
done
laker,
well.
and
most
he
of the guys he fishes
he-
with are
have been the
guys,
same.
or
You know what I
still
mean?
pay
So
laker.
is Gilbert a bad guy? You know what I'm saying? Because he's been a pay laker before he was a wild water guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of thing that like.
That's your thing. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like.
I can dig it.
So would you want to
No.
call somebody like that?
I look
You know
at
what I
people
mean?
as people. I don't say, hey, you fish at a pay lake, I don't like you. I mean, by no means is it anything like that. But there is people that feel that way. Oh, you fish at a pay lake, you're a scum. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
that part I don't get. Like I said, there's things in pay lakes I agree with. There's things I don't agree with. But to judge anybody in the whole,
yeah, because all carp fishermen are, we all have the same
Yeah.
passion, and we all dislike the same thing.
as long as you're taking care of the carp and you're doing your part and you're practicing carp care and you're trying to learn and do your part, hey, I got nothing but respect for you.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's going to be hard to change, but we all need to come together to make the change.
And arguing, like I said, it don't
It
get
ain't,
you
yeah, and
nowhere.
it ain't getting nobody. It just turns people into a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, or
You
it
know what I
makes
mean?
people want to go in and not post anything or
Yeah.
share their experiences or I think we're getting cut off.
Yeah, I think Tia just text James.
She told him he lost his medallion. I can't find your medallion. He's like, gotta go.
No,
Oh, jeez.
man, but we appreciate everybody, man, for tuning
Oh, yeah.
in. Who's the next guest?
we don't have one yet.
We don't have one yet?
No.
Corey Hill. Gilbert needs a trophy for being the GOAT.
We
I
should,
agree.
we should try to
We
get a plaque or something.
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 Yeah, we won't do no medallions, James.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll keep the medallions to a minimum.
Legend. Yeah, it should be some kind of legend, like a legend.
Something to honor him.
The
put back here
TFF.
on our
The
ship.
TFF. Legendary carp angler. All right.
Lifetime member.
Lifetime. All right, brothers. That's it.
Tight lines,
Yeah,
wet
wet
nets,
nets.
always.
Get out and
practice
enjoy the
carp
weather.
care.
Yeah.
Look, Tia's on there, James. You better hurry up. All right, Tia James is about to leave.
He's on his way.
He's on his way.
I'm moving my
He's on
truck
his
soon as
way.
we're done.
Have
He'll be on
his
his way.
medallion ready.
Please polish that baby up.
Tight lines, everybody.
All right, later.
Later.